Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. That's 2 days in a row. I just checked it not 10 minutes ago. 10 freaking minutes ago. I gotta figure out what the hell's going on. Sorry about that. Happy Friday, everybody. It is December 18th, 2020. Hopefully you're hearing me now. Our technical issues are hopefully over for the night. Good to see everybody in chat. I did give a shout out, but I'm gonna have to do it again. Flat for life. What's going on? Got me now. Thank you very much. Ian Adams, Our Crazy Journey, Bill G, Hell in Degenerates, page 42. Twad Wazzle, what's going on? And then further back, we've got, let's see here, Ian Adams. I think I said Ian Adams. Bob the Science Guy was in here earlier. Said this should be interesting. I've asked him to come on and talk to us about, he did a 2.5-hour review of my, what was it, debate with Mr. Sensible. I've asked him to come on and talk about it. He doesn't want to come on, so that's unfortunate, because I'd like to address some of the things he said. I got a pile of notes, but maybe one day we'll see. Either way, The Plain Truth and Leah Templar. Hope everybody's doing okay. Everybody's kids should be out for school, at least in the United States and many other countries. Mine are, so everybody's happy around the house. Looking forward to a couple weeks of break and presents and all that crap. All my money walking out the door. You guys know what I mean? But it's all fun. What else are you going to do with your time and money, right? Anyway, I've got some stuff planned for tonight that should be cool. We're going to talk about different aspects of the flat earth, get the panelist views, and let you judge who has the best explanation. I am springing this on these guys at the last minute. They did not have time to prepare. So I don't know how they'll react to that idea, but we're going to see. It should be a good time. Hopefully we get some good discussions going, and we'll see what else happens. Maybe somebody will pop in and challenge us on some of it, and we'll go from there. So, let me put the link in there. If you want to support the show, the link is to, what is it to? It is to Streamlabs. So just click on that. It's easy. You know how to do it if you've ever used Streamlabs before. There it is, and I'll just pin it to the top. All support is appreciated. Appreciate the members out there like Helen Degenerates, Colin Dresser. Let's see if we've got any others in there. Really appreciate it. But the best way you can support the show is to come on the show, talk to us about your observations and that stuff. You know, bring us something. Bring us you. Come talk to us. Or just watch. That's good too. I see Pebble in the pond, so we might talk about his observations. And that'd be cool, because we've talked about it a lot this week, and he hasn't been able to join us. So we should give him a chance, give us a chance to ask him questions. and see what he's got to say. I know he's talking about doing some more observations, so that'd be awesome. See what he's got in mind. Let me go to the Discord and open things up. What's up, guys? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Or am I having audio issues here too? Everything looks right. Okay. Oh, you have to click on the channel in order to be able to talk.
Kind of sexy.
here.
What can you
Godzilla
say?
37 donated $5 with an exclamation point.
We've got to be quiet. Brandon's here.
Thank you very much.
How's the new show going, Ranty?
Yeah, it's going good. We're going to do a Christmas Eve special.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of me and Cats, and just having a bit of a chit chat and talking about all the things that I've seen in the past. So that should be quite interesting, actually, because I've got quite a few stories. So it's kind of like the paranormal, supernatural crossover kind of thing. So yeah, that should be kind of interesting. And,
do you have any Sasquatches in Britain?
No, I really want to meet one. I want to go out and find one. A Sasquatch would be, yeah, a Bigfoot. Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, take me out there. Literally, I would live in a hovel for 6 months on the off chance of finding a Bigfoot. Just put me somewhere where they are surrounded with some cameras, and I will do it. No problem with that.
What would you say to it if you found it, Randy? What would you do?
Well, oh my goodness. Well, first, I mean, you'd have to act subservient to it. So you'd have to be scared. You'd have to hide away and like not feel threatening to it. And then, if you can survive that immediate, introduction with that Bigfoot, then it's possible you might be able to get a little bit of footage out of it, something maybe walking away or something like that. So yeah, I'd just do that just for the off chance of, meeting something like that for just a few minutes. 6 months of doing that for that. Yeah.
I'm not joking, but in the U.S., in the military, in manuals that you get, military manuals, they describe these things as skunk apes as a general category. Some of them are a whitish type of and silvery coated ape with longer, lankier look, and others are more like these Bigfoot and Sasquatch. But they are recognized as and have habitats marked out on maps, including in regions in Canada.
Wow.
But they're classed as skunk apes, and they're very real and taught about.
I do believe they found one in Afghanistan in a cave at some point. Some 8 foot.
Yeah, that was Osama bin Laden, Ranty. That was Osama bin Laden, mate. Sasquatch.
Well, to be honest, though, seriously, and I'm not even joking here, if I had the opportunity to research, let's say for a year, every single thing that interests me, things like Sasquatches. So let's say in this particular region, there was 25 reports of somebody seeing a Sasquatch, right? So that's a real hotspot. So drop me in there for a year. I will gladly sit in a made-up hovel for a year till I find the footage that I can find to prove that there's a Sasquatch there. I would do that. I would absolutely do that.
In Alberta and British Columbia, there are cabins you're welcome to go and stay in. The Sasquatch will throw things at the building and do what they can to, and they usually do scare people out.
Yeah, but I wouldn't.
Anybody wants to go.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be scared, and I would literally go there seriously. And I'm not. Listen, this is not. I'm not the kind of person that runs away from stuff. I tackle things head on. I always have done, and I've always been a believer in. There are a lot of unexplained things out there that we are afraid of, but we shouldn't really be afraid of them because ultimately they may be as afraid of us as we are of them. So, okay, we may be smaller but different, and they may be ginormous compared to us, but it doesn't mean they're just going to come up to us and just kill us. Just because they're there in our vicinity doesn't mean they're just going to, oh, there's a human, we shall kill human.
Well,
that makes no sense.
I know you're right about these things, but you got to err with the side of caution because some of these things do find ways of
Well, yeah, obviously I'd take protection
changing
with me.
your future, and you'd stumble, fall, and you wouldn't have if some plank didn't move or whatever.
Yeah, but I'd take protection with me, obviously, in case that big hand was about to crush my head. But I would resist that at all costs, because there are a lot of things out there that we just don't know, and science denies, these things. Science denies Bigfoot, science denies the Sasquatch, all that kind of stuff. That in their model makes no sense. It doesn't exist. There's no bones of that. That's just, let's forget about that. But we know that there's enough information out there from people all around the world that say that they've seen these things.
Oh yeah, there's something going on that the science wants to deny, but we all know intuitively and actually in reality it's real.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine getting some footage. Right, we've got the Patterson tape from, what was it, 1970s or something. That's the only thing we've got, and they said it was some guy dressed up in a suit. But if you actually look at the footage, and it's been re-rendered in 4K, and you can actually see the boobies of the woman. As a woman, Sasquatch. It was big. I mean, no human walks like that. I mean, just the fact that it was supposed to be some 6'3" guy that was walking around in a suit. Nobody could do that. And that's the only footage we have, really, seriously. But in today's day and age, with the footage we have, we should be able to get a lot better photography. If people were willing to put themselves out there and actually go out and do that. Yeah, I volunteer. I'm holding my hand up.
Well, that's cool. So are you talking about that one where it kind of lumbers across? They were out
Yeah.
there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that had been debunked because I've heard so many different things about it, but.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they say it's been debunked, and they say that, it was some guy in a suit, 6'3", some 6'3" guy that walked in a suit. Yeah, all right. Well, this thing in a suit had boobies, right? And you're a man, right? I mean, come on. I can't even believe that thing was not somebody in a suit. Whatever they photographed or took video footage of was not a man in a suit. It was absolutely a quote-unquote Bigfoot.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah. How do you think they've hidden themselves? Like, why don't we find the bones? Any idea?
Maybe the bones don't deteriorate the way we think the bones deteriorate.
Oh, maybe.
We're told that bones fossilize and they stay for years and years. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe the Bigfoots find all the Bigfoot people that
How
have died.
much time do you actually spend going out in the woods and looking for bones, though? I mean, like, we wouldn't find them anyway. It would be people who dedicate themselves to going out and finding bones, right? Like, I don't find a whole lot of bones from literally any animals ever in my normal day-to-day life. Do you? So why would you find the bones?
Well, when I was a kid, when I was about 12 or something, we used to go playing across the fields, and we ended up in this place called Deadwood. And the reason it was called Deadwood is that no birds used to sing in this wood. So it was a wood, it was surrounding a what you would call a mini pond. Well, I say a mini pond. It wasn't a mini pond. It was about 100 meters by probably 60 meters. This pond, so it was a substantial enough pond, and it had a ring of trees around it, probably about let's say 8 trees deep, and it was called Deadwood. And no birds used to sing in the wood, and that was the reputation that it had. And as a child, we made it across to Deadwood, and on the way, obviously, we made little dens on the way, and we stopped over. It took us about probably 2 hours to walk there, but every weekend we would make it to Deadwood. And funnily enough, no birds used to sing in Deadwood, and that was the truth. There was no birds, no chirpy, nothing was happy there. It was all, you got into the wood, and it was all dark. There was no living thing that seemed to exist there. Right, and I'm not making this up. This was the truth. It's still there now. And one particular time, we walked around and we found this tree, and there was a patch of bones, and I say it's a patch of bones. There was a skull. It looked like I don't even really like saying this, but it looked like a miniature child, probably. I don't let's say a fetus of about 6 months old. That sort of size. So small, maybe 6 inches long. So there was a pile of bones there with a head, a skull, skull, arms, body, legs, and that was by the tree. And then on the other side of the tree, we found even smaller bones, right? That was like half the size of this. And me and my friends, we looked at this and we didn't touch them. We just looked at them and we were like, couldn't believe what we were seeing. We were kind of children at the time. And I would say it was about a week later when we came back and we went to go and investigate these bones, these bones that were there, and they weren't there anymore. But they were there at the time. So whatever was going on in there, it was very weird. But yeah, we've definitely seen bones. Whether or not I don't think they disintegrated in that time. It was probably some kind of mammal picked them up and ran off with them.
Oh yeah, that happens quick. Yeah.
Yeah. But there was they were bones. There was no flesh on them. These were bones. They'd been picked clean of everything. They were just bones. And I remember that very, very, very clearly.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that's anything to do. I'm not saying that's anything to do with anything else. I'm not making any kind of, things. I'm not making any kind of story out of it. It's just that's what we saw at that time. And the week later, they were gone.
People have had a lot of what may seem to us today certainly as unusual traditions, but when you had a child who died or someone died, often they'd bury them at the foot of a new oak tree that they'd plant, so their spirit would be taken up by the oak tree. So sometimes it finds I hate to say it, miscarried baby or something. It might have been from people who were still kind of practitioners of those kind of ritual things. And sometimes bones will pop back out of the ground if the root pushes them up or whatever. And yes, animals down south, you get a deer dies, it's gone in 2 days. In a couple more days, even the antlers get chewed on by rodents and stuff, and the bones get torn to pieces and brought into burrows and gnawed on. You don't find bones. You're very lucky to find an antler.
Yeah. Well, as I say, we were very in tune with our surroundings back then. We lived in the backfields. We lived in the dikes. We lived on the fields. We lived in the trees. We used to play each other with Robin Hoods. We used to make bow and arrows with each other and fire bow and arrows at each other. And sometimes you get stabbed in the leg, sometimes you get stabbed in the shoulder. But the bows now is real. They weren't playthings. But we were all like 10, 12, 13 years of age, and we used to live the Robin Hood kind of existence. We used to play like we were Robin Hood, and we used to fight each other like we were Robin Hood with swords and all this kind of things. We used to make our own, so we knew all our surroundings. So for me to actually remember these bones at the bottom of the tree was, at least for me, I can remember it. I can remember it. I can't say for them whether they remember seeing what they saw, but I remember seeing those bones, and it was in dead wood, and dead wood was dead. There was no birds that ever sang in there. It was all dark. There was a tree that fell from one side to the other. It must have been 80 foot tall, right? And it fell from one side of the pond to the other side of the pond. And we used to attempt to walk from one side to the other. I never actually made it. I tried a few times. I never actually made it across the whole way, but I did try it. And yeah, that wood was known to be just spooky, scary. Nobody really wanted to go there. In fact, it was a part of a school. There was a school ground. It was part of a school ground. And the idea was that kids were supposed to run around the tree line. They weren't supposed to go in Deadwood. And that was it. That's that's what I remember. That's what I remember. That, you know, we were kids that knew our surroundings, but that was different. That what we saw, what I saw, what I remember seeing, was definitely different from anything we'd ever seen before.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to walk through the woods because I lived in the mountains for a while, and then I lived in the foothills in Colorado. And in order to get from a friend's house or whatever, you'd have to walk the trails. And the trails are literally through, you know, the thick forests on the side of mountains in Colorado, in the Rocky Mountains. And I never saw anything, but I can tell you I got creeped out quite a few times walking through the dark. If you've ever walked through the woods in the dark, you know what I'm talking about. It is creepy as hell.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And I used to have nightmares about finding Bigfoot. He would run up to me. I'd see him by a little creek, and he'd run up to me and he'd give me this look like he could read my thoughts, and he'd squeeze my fingers as hard as he could, and then I'd wake up.
Wow.
It was weird.
Imagine this, yeah. So I believe that most people, when they think of a graveyard, they think if anybody's actually been to a graveyard, they will, you know, in their mind, they will recall seeing headstones that are about waist height, right? Am I right there, or do other people recall any kind of headstones that are above head height?
The stone is about waist high, and monuments go a lot higher. You know.
So here, right? So I ended up back at my mum's a few months ago, and I'd never really scouted the location. And just a couple of 100 meters away, no word of a lie, just down the road, you can walk into this cemetery. And it was about 3 weeks ago, the first time ever that I walked into this cemetery. And we had headstones and monuments going back at least 200 years. Some of them more than that, you know, 200 odd years, right? So, but the size of these things, and I'm not just talking about the odd one, but every single headstone was taller than me, right? So more than 5'8", right? And you were looking at some of these monuments that are at least 12 foot tall, right? And they're all sculptured. They're all angels or things, you know. I can't describe it. The crosses, and they've got crosses with architecture in them and all this kind of so weird. I mean, there's like 1,000 headstones. You walk in that cemetery, there's 1,000 headstones in whichever way you look, left, right, middle, whatever. It doesn't matter which direction you're looking, and it's every single headstone is taller than you. And I've never seen that before.
It's possible that some of the people that are buried there are bigger than, well, you or I.
Possibly.
The giants, Jimbo?
Or wealthier. You know,
larger people. I mean, a larger headstone would mean you'd need more space for the hole in the ground, right?
No. They're normal
Oh,
grave
they're
size.
vertically and narrow. Okay,
Yeah,
I got you.
So the normal grave size, but the headstones on every one of them are massive. I mean, I've walked around Leighton Cemetery and, you know, other cemeteries. I'm just going to call Leighton Cemetery, but Leighton.
Thanks, Flat for Life.
Anybody. And you walk around there, and all the headstones, bar 1 in 100, are bigger than waist high. You walk in this cemetery, and they're all ginormous. You feel swamped by history, swamped by kind of mythological things. I mean, just the fact that they're all...
Whereabouts is that, Ranty? Sorry for interrupting. Whereabouts?
It's in Polton, you know. So if you go down to... If you look in Polton, and you look on Moorland Road, that's Moorland, Moorland Road, there will be a cemetery there on Moorland Road. and you look on that, and you will see the cemetery. I mean, I can do a video if you want to, but
yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually, that'd be a good idea because I'd be interested because I've been in and out set. I find cemeteries fascinating.
Oh, I first went in there like 3 weeks ago. I've been in like 5 times since because it just fascinates me. The fact that these, well, it is kind of macabre, but
yeah,
but
it's
also,
strange. It's usually a sign of wealth, or if you see the pillar ones, like Cleopatra's Needle style, they're usually Masonic masons. Usually a mason that's buried there, but usually if they've got huge headstones, that's a sign of wealth. I'd be interested about the history of the area, Ranty.
Okay.
That's quite a lot. That seems to depict a lot of rich people that lived in that area.
Yeah,
it wasn't paupers,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you look at these things now and you think to yourself, well, to actually build a headstone that high, you'd probably talking just in stone. To get a stone that big, and to carve it out, you're easily talking 10 grand, just to carve one of them. But just the architecture is just out of this world. It's fantastic. Just real. Just skilled people, people, and it's scary. Listen, I walked in there and I thought I'm just going in a normal graveyard. I expected to see headstones that were at my head, at the waist height. Instead, I'm looking up at every single one of them. I'm not even joking. Every single one.
Was there families written on it, or was it just one person?
No, not just talking about one person. I'm talking about 1,000 different headstones.
No, I'm saying on the headstone. Sometimes you have a family headstone, so it'll say, "Here's buried, John McTavish."
Right, okay.
And his wife, and his blah blah.
To be honest, I haven't gone that in depth.
But I couldn't see them digging the holes up. I couldn't see them digging the holes up again, Ranty, and then sticking the wife in on top. You know what I mean? So I honestly, think that's probably a bit stupid what I said there.
If you were to walk around that cemetery, you would feel it too. I felt it. I walked around that and I felt it was kind of weird. It was kind of like you feel this kind of power from the headstones. You walk down this path and it ends up in a circle at the end. You go around and you end up back on the path that you walked around. But all that entire distance, as you walk around it, you feel the power of these headstones.
You know what might interest you to check out? It's called the kafun. Japan had the tradition of internment in what they call a kafun, a coffin. Our word coffin comes from the Japanese kafun. And if you read up on their traditions and beliefs on that, wow, you'll see where a lot of ours stem from, and those powers, energies you're talking about, they stem from the kafun.
Well, I did take some photographs, so I'll have to look. But I only took a select few. I only took maybe 8 or something. If I find them, give me 10 minutes and I'll show you what I found.
Cool. Some of them that they found in Japan, the kafuns, are huge. Just saying.
Well, Ranty's looking for that. I see we have Pebble in the Pond in the house. What's up, man?
Hey, doing good. A little tired.
Yeah, you sound a little tired. You seen the coverage of your latest observation in here, I take it?
Say that again?
You've seen our discussions of your latest observation from the 14th?
Yeah, I've listened in.
Yeah, I thought I'd bring that up real quick and see if you had anything to add or correct us on anything we said. Now that you're in here, give you a chance to comment on it. But excellent stuff, as I've mentioned before. I think it's fantastic.
Hey, I found the photos.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well,
I just thought I'd get this.
We'll come back to Pete.
Get this segment out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah. And Ali B, if you want to take a quick look at the screen that I'm sharing.
Yeah, will do, matey. 1 second.
All right, I'll pass you through. I'll go through these. So,
hang on a minute. It's not come up yet.
Okay.
It's got the circle of death on it at the moment.
Oh, was it? Right, okay. So let me try and sort of like move things along.
Oh, there we
right?
go. That's
There we
it.
go.
Yep.
There you go. So in the background, you've got these bushes, and there's Moreland Road. So Moreland Road's just behind these bushes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to
Oh, let
be
me.
panning through to the right.
Sorry, I forgot to share.
That's fine. That's fine. So like that thing in the background there, this one, this is like 9 feet tall, I would say. You know, if I was guessing, about 9 feet
It
tall.
looks like it's been dug up.
It could have been took over.
They moved it or something. That's weird. Or did
This.
they plop it on top of a giant rock, or what the hell?
Look at this. I mean, just with
I think they've just carved it out of that rock there, Brandon. I think that's one
Had a
piece.
bronze plate there. Looks
What
like a
is that?
bronze plate.
If anybody can make anything out of that, maybe take a screenshot of it.
Boy, that's
And,
hard to read. I think April 30th, something 89.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. But
you
that's
look at the writing.
ginormous.
Yeah.
Let's look at the next. So let's go through. So all these headstones, believe it or not, I mean that one there. Let's say where this cursor is here. That one's 6 feet tall, right? And I'm not even joking. That is about 6 feet tall. And you look at the other ones and you think, oh, that one over there, that's not it. But then you look at this. This is a regular headstone. You know, that's what you would call a regular headstone over here on the right, right?
Yeah.
And then when you put that in perspective to the other ones, right, that's what you normally get on a normal everyday headstone, right? And then these ones are just, I mean, look at, oh man, it gets better. I mean, look at this angel over here.
Hey, Ranty.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
Is there a church? Is it in a church yard? Is there I guess, yeah.
No, it's not actually.
There's nothing but this cemetery.
Just this cemetery, yeah.
Huh.
This here is about 9 feet tall. This one is 9 feet tall. This circular thing here, so you can guesstimate the size of the others. But it gets better because there are images. Look at this. Look at this. This thing
That's
here.
some piece of work, man.
You know, this is 9 feet tall. I mean, look at the face on this. So serene. It's so beautiful. And look at that.
They were
How
all
beautiful
trying to one up each other or something. This one must have been the rich person cemetery or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking that myself, Brandon. I think it definitely looks like an affluent area.
Look at this.
Holy
Just
crap.
beautiful.
Look at that thing.
It's ginormous and it's beautiful. There's another image of it. So I took a few of that. Here's another one with obviously the cross on it. And all this fancy, this looks like an anchor down here. It looks like it was obviously a seaman or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's got to
This
cost
is upper class,
big bucks.
upper class graves here for sure.
Yeah, that would cost
Yeah.
big bucks
This
there
is money
today.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ranty, if you look who are buried here, you're gonna probably find all rich people names.
Oh,
Lords
there's a
and
Masonic
kings and
oh, right. This is a Masonic one. Okay, so
No, the one on the left, the one behind it, the guy that I can
This one?
guarantee you. Yeah,
This
yeah,
one?
that one there, the pillar. Yeah, I can guarantee that guy was a Mason.
Okay, I will go. I will go and I'll take a photograph of that close up so that you can do a bit of research on the name. But
Thanks, that flat fellow. Appreciate it, man. 99-cent sticker. Thank you very much.
look at this. There's a sarcophagus there, or whatever it's called. And
It's a slab of granite.
is there any little huts, little houses? Because we have similar in Montreal here. We have a mountain where they bury it, people, and there's like a rich area, and they even have like little houses, Ranty. Next time I go up, I'll film it. You're gonna love that.
wow.
Anything like that there, like little houses, like where you can walk in.
Oh, you can't walk in this. No, but this
No.
this is only about, I'd say, 3.5 feet tall. This one.
Is that an above ground thing where the body's like interred inside that casket there?
I have no idea.
Well, see if you can get a peek in there when you go back to get the picture.
Okay.
Dig round it, Ranty.
Dig it up.
Bring a shovel. Bring a shovel.
But
Take a
here's the
crowbar.
here's the thing, yeah. So that's about 3.5 foot tall, and so that's about 6.5 feet tall. That's 6 foot. That's 6 foot. I was kneeling down a little bit to take this image to get that, but when I stood up, I was still below these. I was still lower than the height of these. These things were ginormous, and I'm not even
Ranty,
joking.
What kind of houses are around the neighborhood? Are they huge mansions by any chance?
I wish so. I only live a couple of 100 meters away, so.
So you mean there's just regular homes around there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that one sunk down there.
Yeah, look at that. That's wow. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's well gone, hasn't it? It's like been.
What's that one in the background there, Ranty? Zoom into that one in the background. It's like a tree or something.
I think it literally is a tree.
Oh, it is a tree. So that's a tree.
Oh, sorry, it's a tree. Sorry.
It's a pyramid. It's a pyramid. Zoom back. It's a pyramid.
Well, I told you it looked like a tree.
You were
It's
right.
a pyramid, bro.
Cheers.
Here's another one with there's a cross in the foreground, and actually no, the angel's holding the cross on this. The angel's holding the cross. Look at that.
Wow.
Ginormous. You actually have to be there to actually appreciate how high and big these. Look, I'm 5'8", right? So I'm standing up. So my midpoint is here. This is 5'8" in the center, right? What's the height of the rest of this? It's 14 foot. But look at this, this angel thing here. I mean, she's pointing up. What's she doing with this finger?
It's a hint.
Zoom in on the hand.
Well, she's
Ranty,
pointing to
please.
heaven, of course, Ranty. Come on.
Zoom in. Zoom into the hand, Ranty, please. If you can.
Bob, the science guy, says mud flood. So that might be the answer. That might be where we're looking at. Good suggestion, Bob.
Wasn't that what the the ISIS, wasn't that their sign? Putting the finger up.
Oh no, I don't.
That was their sign. That was the ISIS sign. They put their hand up and they put the finger.
Oh.
A one or representing a one or something. Yeah, that was their go-to sign.
Look at that black one. That's like a $20,000 thing there. These are expensive.
Yeah.
But you don't see that this isn't your normal graveyard. I walked into this. I've never felt the power of walking in the graveyard before until I walked into this. And it really felt like Bram Stoker's Dracula, when you hear that stories of, the olden 1800s kind of thing. This is just what it felt like. It felt really weird. These things were kind of powerful.
Maybe it's built on a ley line or something, and that's why they've probably, they had ancient beliefs in them days. Maybe that's built on a ley line or something.
Oh, maybe.
Or some special place. Maybe that was the energy you were feeling. You never know.
Where is it at again, Ranty? A couple of people are asking.
So this is Moorland Road. So if you go to MOORLAND, Moorland Road in Poulton, 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 Ley, LE, Filed, FYLDE, Poultonley Filed near Blackpool. You will find there is a cemetery there. And this is where they are. There's maybe 1,000 headstones there, but just to walk in that place, you've got a totally different feel. I'm not. Well, I kind of am, but I'm not. But in this place, you actually feel it. You actually feel the presence there. There's like a power. There's an energy that comes from all of these stones. I think all of this. architecture, whatever it is. You just walking around. All of these things that they're at least 6 feet tall. This is about 8 feet tall, about 7 feet tall, 6 feet tall, whatever. They're all ginormous. Don't be fooled by the image. These things are ginormous.
Oh, Ranty, I would suggest if you're going to investigate this to maybe see if you could find out how at what point the building was torn down. And I'm going to suggest that there at least was a church or some sort of large cathedral there, because at least here in the States, you don't have cemeteries like that without it being right on the property of a church.
Yeah, that's the patrons, innit? That's the patrons.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I will do a video tomorrow. I'll go walking around the cemetery tomorrow, and I'll do a video walking in all around it and walk back out again, 10 minutes or so, and I will give it to Brandon to show on Monday. How's that? So you guys can see it as it is, as you walk in, walking out, and you'll see the size of everything. And
remember to give the name of the cemetery as well, Ranty, if you can.
Well, to be honest, I don't know the name. I really don't know the name of it.
Well, but that's part of the history that I think is either due to neglect or intent. Because the fact that you've got a cemetery in the middle of this town, or however large your town is, again, I'm going to suggest that there's something missing there in terms of a building that used to be some sort of community center of some sort.
Well, you're quite probably right there, but I just found it was really interesting to me personally seeing this. I didn't take all the images of all the big stuff that was in there. I just took things that was of interest to me, and mainly because in the background you have houses. I didn't want these houses in the background, so I just kind of found little spaces where I could take an image of one particular headstone that didn't have a house in the background, even though you can actually see the house in the background. So I was trying to eliminate that because they kind of built around it, so they built houses around this. And just I just thought it was nice to talk about.
I bet I bet you that's where all the neighborhood teenagers go to smoke pot, is in that cemetery right there. That's what I would do when I was a teenager.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it is serene. It doesn't feel scary when you're in there. Yeah, it doesn't feel scary.
Well, that's cool. We got a super chat from RM Skillen. Did you get any clues from what was said on the gravestones?
Well, how about this? How about if you give another super chat to Brandon, I will take 10 photographs of all the images, of all the inscriptions on the headstones of the biggest 10 in there. How about that? If you do that, I'll do that. If you give Brandon a super chat now, I'll do that. I'll go tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow and I'll do that. That seems fair. That's fair, isn't it? $5
for some photography work. I suppose that is pretty fair price. Thank you, RM Skillen.
Oh, speaking of photography work, bearing in mind, let me just say this. The P1000 was returned to me a couple of days ago. So that's the Nikon P1000. You can still pick them up for about, I don't know, $1,200 or £1,000, something like that. However, get this. I was speaking to a gentleman that comes on this channel. I'm not going to say it now because he will release a video about it, but I am going to give him gratis, free, just take it, have it, the P1000. So he will have the P1000 to go with his group of researchers that uses P900s in America, and they will use the P1000 to the best of their abilities to further the research into flat Earth. So, giving away the P1000. Now, unlike when I gave away the P900 to Arwin, which I was always a little bit skeptical about, and has never seen a single bit of research. That was a little bit of a dig, by the way. Thank you, Arwin, for mothballing the P900 that you never used, you fuckface. Sorry about that, by the way.
There's some
I'm
anger
with
in
you
there.
on that, Ranty. I'm with you on that, mate. Absolutely, I'm with you.
So I gave away a P900 camera to Arwin, the fuckface who never used it. And what I'm going to do now is give away the P1000 to another flat Earth researcher who uses it in a group of the people that have P900s. And I am sure, at least in this particular instance, it will get used. So even though, my research is stepping back from flat Earth and Brandon's taking over the show and stuff, I am still giving away a £1,000 camera to flat Earth because flat Earth paid for it in the first place. Simple as that. I reached out for the community to give me a handout for the P1000. People paid up, and I'm just giving it back. So it's going to go back into the community. It's going to get used again so people can use it in the community. And at least in this instance, I know it's going to get used, unlike Arwin, the P900 fuckface, who didn't use it. There we go.
That's awesome, Ranty. And did you already said who you were giving it to, or you did not?
I didn't say.
Okay, we don't have to say.
Right
I
now.
didn't catch it if you did or didn't, so I just wanted to make sure. But it is going to a good home, so that's really awesome of you to pass that down. I know it'll get used because I know who it's going to.
Listen. It will get used. Listen, I only got the camera back today. 2 days ago from somebody that I loaned it to about 2 months ago, and they had it for 2 months, and I didn't get any photography from them, maybe because it's the weather and other kinds of things that were going on. But I did get it back from them because I actually messaged them and they sent it me back. So I gave it out to them. They gave it me back. I've received it back. Now I'm going to give it away. No loan. Just take it. You can use it. The community needs it. And that's what Flat Earth is all about. Helping the research. And yeah. That's what it's all about.
That's awesome, Ranty. Cool.
And I've not had a drink, by the way, at all. Bearing in mind, not had a single drink. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to follow through with what I said. But seriously, no, I've had a little drink, but I'm deserving of that. I've had a shit year. So what can I say?
No excuses needed. It's Friday night.
And it's Friday night, and listen, all those people that have been working for different jobs and still have a job after 2020, I mean, come on. I believe that this night, at least, is one of the nights that you guys all normally get smashed. So, if you haven't been able to go out and get smashed, I just want to say, we will see you in the new year, and we will all get smashed together.
Hell yeah. Ian Adams says, after 9 Coronas, Ranty? He didn't.
No.
I added the question mark.
No.
He didn't.
I've actually drank a bottle and a half of red I can't even say it. Red wine. I've had a bottle and a half of red wine tonight, so I'm letting my hair down this evening. This week has been quite tough, having to go through all the legal stuff and the documentation. I mean, but it's all sorted now, and the weekend's approaching, and I just thought, do you know what? I picked up a couple of bottles of red wine, and I didn't expect that I would drink it so fast.
Yeah, sometimes it goes down really smooth. That's when I know danger is coming.
So anyway, listen, I'm going to step out, guys, and I'm going to let you carry on with the show. Thank you for exploring this a little bit of research that I showed you with these monuments and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a cool diversion from Flat Earth. I look forward to the pictures tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll go out tomorrow and I will take some images. I will send them to you tomorrow. And Brandon, you're doing an excellent job, my friend. And I really look forward to seeing what you've got to do the following year. I want to see what you're going to do in the show in the next year. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you've got to come. You've had some excellent guests in the last couple of weeks, I have to say. And, Nathan can't bring in those people.
Nice dig.
Yeah, I am.
Hey, this is the Ranty show where everybody's welcome, and seriously, the Globers are welcome to join. Seriously, they are welcome. and we will welcome them, and we'll give them. We won't be like Nathan, shut your mouth, mute button, bollocks, bastard, twat that he is. But here, at least, you will get a fair crack of the whip. And that's why Globers join. That's why everyone loves this show.
Yep, open door to almost everybody. Almost everybody.
Right, I better shut up before I get myself in trouble.
Yeah, we're headed down the wrong road. Yeah. Chris the Flat Earther, $10 super chat. Good work, guys. Thanks, Chris. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks for supporting the show. That's awesome. Flat Fellow sends $4.99. We appreciate all the work you put in, and we will miss you. That said, Brandon is going to do awesome. Thanks, Flat Fellow. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right. Let's check out Pete. What Pete's got to say about his observations. And I keep calling you Pete instead of Pebble. Sorry about that. Tough to break that habit in my mind, Pebble.
Yeah, the greatness is hard to leave.
Yeah, you left the greatness behind. Yeah, Pebble in the pond, the great Pebble in the pond. So I kind of stuck these. I did a close up, and I don't know if you want me to, I can bring up the original or this close up, whatever you'd prefer, but we've been looking at this, so I'm not going to play too much of it. I'll just kind of skip forward, and if there's anything you want me to point out that we may have missed, we can do that. But this is the target, right, that you had, and it was 80 meters. Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. 80 meters, and then I think I've got one. I put the other picture in here where you
hold
measured.
on. I need to interrupt. I mean, is this the guy with the drawer thing? You know, the door that goes up and down.
Yeah.
Pebble, my friend. My God, I love you so much. You are my favoriteest friend in the whole world. Can you tell everybody your YouTube channel, please? Please.
I don't have one.
Oh my God! Right, okay. Can you force Brandon to at least, make individual videos about the amazing work that you are doing? I mean, seriously, I'm not even joking, right? Your work is fantastic. I can't eulogize it. I was talking to Brandon about this before, saying how much, we need people like you coming in and doing this kind of research. And you're, lifting the door and showing that boat with it, the Inferior Mirage hiding half of it. I mean, I can't tell you how much I was so excited about that. I was like, yeah, this is why I left, because, you guys are bringing my research and you're expanding on this, and this is so good. Please force him to tell him now, listen, tell him, make videos about.
You heard him.
All right. And in fairness,
videos.
I have been promising that I will for a while, so that's on my list to do this weekend.
Do it. Do it. Take my work. Take even what's he called? Bloody hell! That's that other guy that does live streams. God, Jose. Take his stuff with Inferior Mirages and compare it, and literally rub it in the globe faces. Rub it.
Absolutely.
Say, this is the Inferior Mirage. This is what happens. I mean, come on. This is what we've been working on, guys, for the past 2 years. I mean, we should be so excited about this. This is fantastic. Everybody should be. This isn't fucking talking about level and fucking horizontal, for fuck's sake. This is actual research. This isn't bollocks about talking about a word or the meaning of words. Level is horizontal, fucking horizontal is level. Bullshit, bollocks. This is research where you can actually see something hidden behind the Inferior fucking Mirage, which is what we see on every single time that we look over a body of water. We see the boat hide behind an Inferior Mirage, and the Globers ignore it. They say that's the edge of the curve, and that's bullshit. And what we're seeing now is a physical reality, work in motion, where you actually see temperature affect what you're seeing, and it's always sinking. And with the Inferior Mirage, it's always sinking. What we've been saying, and we need to fucking expand on this.
Yeah, I agree. This definitely needs more attention, and we've this is about the third time we've gone over it, but I'm really excited about it. I'm going to take some of yours some of your footage. Travis has got some fantastic footage of these Inferior Mirages. I know he just put some more together. You pinged me with today, Travis. So, and do some compare and contrast, and really show this stuff off, because what we see here in this smaller scale, like you said, is exactly what we see on the bigger scale in this other footage. It's just a matter of scale. So it's a fantastic observation in a controlled environment. This is good stuff. But let me play. I'll just press play and we'll watch it. And Pete, you can narrate if you want, or I can narrate. Your choice.
Are you showing it somewhere?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sharing in Discord, am I?
Nope.
Why can't Discord read my mind? All right, here we go. You should be able to see it now.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let me hit play here. Like, you're lowering the camera at this point, right?
Yep.
Now you told me something about the lasers. I don't think I communicated that point before. One of the lasers didn't work, or what was it? What was it with one of the lasers?
Well, it was on, but it wasn't like a focused beam. It displayed like outwards, and I couldn't even like, because I tried to point it towards the camera, but I couldn't even see where the laser was going.
Oh, okay.
So it's on and on the floor, but you just can't really see it.
Gotcha. So even at the beginning you couldn't see it. I don't think you could see it higher up either, could you? Really? No.
Well, the one that's on the left up higher, you can see that one was working correct.
Yeah, you can definitely see that one. Okay. So did I skip past where you opened the door? Or is that coming? This is 38 seconds in. First, you open the door behind
the door
you, right?
behind the camera should be open, yeah.
Okay. And you can see the disturbance in the air here. Is there anything in particular that you noticed during this door opening behind you that you wanted to point out? Definitely.
There was a point where I think hold on, I gotta check what times they were at. I think I sent you the times.
Oh yeah, you pinged me with that earlier, didn't you? 56 to 1:30. Yeah, that's right now.
Yeah. If you could make a line like just where that mirage or that mirroring happens, and you go through from 56 to 1:30, there's a point where the boats appear to like dip down below that line, and then they'll rise back up again. So it's like the sinking effect that Ranty says.
Okay. Yep, that's cool. Got a couple of super chats. One from Rob Keene. Message has been deleted. Cleary, $2. Thanks, Rob Keene. Level is horizontal. Ruhif 2020. Yeah, this is some pretty thick waviness here too, and I did notice that you see the bigger reflection, like the reflection changes in the floor. Not directly under the target, like right here, so much as a little further away. And then the light obviously doesn't disappear when you open the door from behind you, right?
No, don't think it did.
I don't think so, but you can see that we talked about this a little last night, that we'll call it the ether band, kind of flowing. Here it looks to be flowing from right to left. It's like this layer near the ground that's flowing like a river. I don't know, if you look over here, does it go left to right? Maybe it just looks like it's flowing, but it's definitely undulating.
Yeah. Is it just on my screen, or is it
For some,
bad quality here?
might just be on your screen here. Let me try to reshare. Sometimes this thing gets stuck. Here we go. Okay, I just reshared it. Okay, now here comes the door opening in the back, right?
Yep.
And you can already see with the door open, that light's blinking out. And boom, it's gone. No, so that's at we'll call it 324. That the light blinks out for the first time. This laser is doubled. It's up higher and it's doubled. There's not two lasers there. The boats are obstructed from the bottom up. Hard to deny that when you see it's obstructed from the bottom up and mirrored, just like we see out over water. Really, over land too, if you can see far enough. The green thing is almost completely obstructed. You do see some of it shimmering up on the top, and the pink is reflected in the bottom. What are these things, like emergency lights or something, Pete?
They're like reflectors that you'd use like in the dark so people can see you, except they just have a LED inside of it.
Okay. All right. So like if you're on the side of the road or somewhere where there's a lot of people moving around or something.
Yeah, you can like wrap that around your arm or something.
Gotcha. All right. So we saw the light just briefly right there. It's still gone. And remember, this was just one rush of cold air in. It's kind of peeking back through. This is almost a minute and a half now. Little peeking through. So I wonder what would happen if you had a constant flow of cold air. With the constant, see, you don't have a constant heat though. The cold air will definitely overcome the heat in the factory at some point, right?
Yeah.
But there it is. We'll say it's back now. So at least a minute and a half, it's gone for most of that, and then it's still even obstructed, and then it slowly comes back, and as the cold air dissipates, which I assume is what's happening, mixed with the hot air in there, you see that less of that shimmering, that flow is gone, and then it gets closer back to the original image.
Mic check, Brandon. Mic check.
Hey, you're good. You're good. Anything to add, Pebble?
Not really. I just I can't remember who was on the show then, but they were saying that they can't really see what's happening. So
I would add that when you open the door and the cold air comes in, the effect builds up from the ground up. When the doors are closed and the heat pushes the cold flatter and flatter, it dissipates downward, the effect. It's upward when you open the door and the cold air comes in, close the door, and then, well, the heat expands again, pushes the cold air out of the way of the lens and the targets, and they become visible again from the top down.
Right, so you've managed to make them an inferior mirage in an artificial environment, yes, so what? How does that in any way affect our observations where we accept what inferior mirages do?
No, you accept. We don't. You accept.
So you accept and acknowledge that inferior mirages can obstruct things from the bottom up.
Always have done. If you remember, we had a discussion with Ranty about a week ago in which he claimed that he was the first one to mention it, and it turned out that it was a year afterwards that he mentioned it on the Globebusters, and I'd been actually shown the ray diagrams to do this a year earlier, just after Anthony Riley made the observation in the Isle of Man. I mean, this is something I've been talking about for 3 years, and Ranty and others have only just started to understand it. Well, no, he doesn't understand it, but this is just an inferior mirage scenario, which I can show you with wind turbines, which I've been doing for 3 years, showing that the bottom of the wind turbines have got an inverted area where the inferior mirage is, where there's a very small angular size of something that's obscured. That doesn't account for if I have a mountain that's, say, many thousands of feet tall or wind turbine, this just affects the very tiny bit just above the horizon. Yes, so what? That doesn't account for the rest of, say, a wind turbine that's missing being underneath the water. It just accounts for a small bit near the horizon. Yeah?
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's the bottom of the object then, right? Rumpet, please don't gish gallop. That's the bottom of the object that's being obstructed by the Mirage then, right? Okay, so you said this for years. Now we were able to... the bottom of those boats are obstructed, correct?
Yeah, but that's only because the bottom of them lines with. If the bottom of the boats were much further, it would be the floor that is hiding them. If you could get those boats on a curved object, it would be the curve that would be obscuring. The Inferior Mirage can only obscure a tiny fraction just above the horizon.
So says you. In this controlled environment, we've been able to recreate our observations over open water or open land where objects are hidden from the bottom up by an inferior mirage or this ether band or whatever you want to call it, this layer of air. We've been able to recreate that. So you're right. Thank you for recognizing that and acknowledging it. So this is a smaller scale, and it matches observations that we see out in the real world over water or over land. What's the problem, Rumpus? What problem do you have with us looking at this observation?
Okay, let me share my... No, I'm saying all you've done is discovered inferior mirages, which has no relevance to the discussion about large things missing most of their bottom.
Of course it does.
Let me just show you. No, it doesn't. Let me show you. You just share my screen.
Let me just jump in real quick. And what Rumpus is, or rather, I'm not going to blame it on him. The shift is now moving from inferior mirages to another refractive distortion. Okay, so mirages are mirrored images, but towering, stooping, sinking, and the other one, looming, those are refractive distortions.
You roboted.
That do not have mirror images. So what Rumpus is doing right now is... How about now? Any better?
Yeah, it is better now.
All right, so just real quick, what he's doing right now is he's now cherry-picking a different distortion. It's not the same, so it's not going to have this... Yes, you are.
Okay, look at my image on screen. Here I have some wind turbines, and you can see here there is a small portion of inferior mirage that's blocking the bottom, the very close to the horizon part of the wind turbines. But what we're missing is far bigger than the inferior mirage. So if I go up here, I've actually got that same picture showing where the bottom of the wind turbine should be. Hold on a second, I have to scroll to the damn thing.
For fuck's sake.
Here we go, somewhere up here. Give me a moment. So I can show, anyway, I've showed in that diagram there's a small portion that's obscured by an inferior mirage, and I'm now going to show you the extent of the missing portion.
Scroll.
You haven't.
Yeah, unfortunately,
you haven't showed us how much is missing. You haven't showed us how much is missing.
I'm about to show you how much is missing. I'm about to show you how much is missing from those pictures that of those wind turbines. It's nearly there. God damn it.
Okay.
I can never remember how. Here we go. Here we go. Nearly there. Nearly there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry about this.
That's all right. That's all right.
There's just a lot of information to get through, I'm afraid. Sorry about that.
When are you publishing this thing, by the way, Rumpus?
People like plain. Well, you need to learn about perspective and things, and the plain truth has been nagging me for God knows how long. Here we go. Here we go. Right. So here we go. Here's the same image, but I've put in here the missing portions of the wind turbines, and you can see this very small portion of the inferior mirage on this, which is this little bit here. Let's just go and have a quick look and remind ourselves again. So this portion here is the inferior mirage, and I've been talking about this for 3 years, and this diagram is 3 years old, nearly 2.5 at least. And so this is how much of the wind turbine is missing. So there's the original picture, and I've then overlaid.
Hold on, real quick. Rumpus, what evidence do you have that those wind turbines have not been magnified at all?
Well, that doesn't happen in nature. We don't see magnification.
Well, you should be
that's absolutely false. You have no place having a discussion with.
No,
this.
you
You don't belong in this
Plain
discussion,
truth.
Rumpus, based on
Plain
the fact
truth.
that you just
You have presented
Rambo.
numerous occasions where you've tried to present that magnification occurs, and all you've done is to demonstrate that you can't use a graphic application properly. You've just demonstrated you're incapable.
Hey, look, can we get back to the observation, please, and talk about this?
You seem incapable of using a
If you're going to insult each other, just save it. Can you please get back to the observation? Now, my response to this would be, okay, so you've lined these pictures up in front, which may or may not be the right scaling. I don't know.
They are.
Okay.
They are.
But there's obviously more going on in this picture. From what the water looks like, you think that is a geometric horizon, correct? You think that's the Earth edge that we're seeing there?
Well, it's close enough. I mean, that's a side issue. Let's not get distracted.
No, that's not a distraction. That's kind of the main point.
Well, okay, let
looks
me make
like
my point,
proximate looming to me.
Yeah, let me make my point, and then you can make your point about the.
You already made like 5 points. You made a point about the size of these things. Now let me make my point.
Yeah. So we should be able to have questions. Go ahead.
The top of this. You don't know how much of the top of this water that you're seeing here, because this looks like proximate looming. This is what the water looks like when the water in the foreground is loomed up and hides the bottom of objects. And yes, it does. You've admitted that it happens.
Yeah,
absolutely
no,
happens. Absolutely
no,
happens.
No, it does not happen. No, it doesn't happen.
Oh, how did you rule out that from that? Why is
because it doesn't happen?
Who says it doesn't happen?
I do, and anybody who knows anything about refraction will say it doesn't happen. Because the whole point about looming, hold on, let me explain. The whole point about looming is that it's an angular effect, which means the effect will be greater the further away you go. And Travis has just made up this thing about proximate looming because he's trying to account for the visual effects, the observations we make, and he's just making something up. He doesn't understand that angular effects are greater at distance than they are close to.
We can see it dissipate at times, Rumpus. It's not made up. It's a real thing. We see it dissipate at times.
Sorry, I missed that. Someone overtalked you. I didn't quite hear what you said.
We see it dissipate. We have observations where that band that's hiding things in the back dissipates.
What does that mean? That's gibberish.
It means that then you can see behind that band. It comes and goes. It certainly does happen.
Yeah, we accept that it comes and goes. We know that. What's that? That's what you mean by dissipates over time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we know the inferior mirage disappears. Okay. So
not the inferior mirage. The water in the foreground.
Yeah, that's part of the
looming up.
Part of the inferior mirage.
See how it's all jagged on the top of the water here?
Yeah, that's part of the inferior mirage.
That is not a horizon, Rumpus.
It's very close to it.
No,
the horizon
this is
very
the water loomed up. This is kind of part of the mirage. No. It's an effect of light, something. It's some kind of atmospheric effect on top of the water.
I can show you the ray diagram that accounts for this if you'd like to. You might be a bit more than you can take, but we have got this fully understood. And what's more, the modelling that I've done along with Philip exactly agrees with reality. We can create exactly these images on the Isle of Man exactly using inferior mirages and ray diagrams.
So you cherry-picked a couple of images to meet your model. So what?
Well, this is typical. This is absolutely typical. What I'm showing on the screen is what you see in reality quite often.
No, okay, here, again. The challenge for you would be to produce numerous images of this same observation with different effects, and you don't have it.
What? I don't. That's gibberish. The point is.
No. I will clarify. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. Listen. You have an image right here that we're looking at,
which is typical.
Okay. We don't know that it's typical. What I'm saying is,
well, we all see lots of things.
Rumpus, I'm not finished. Rumpus, please.
Travis, am I allowed not to interrupt you? You see, so if I'm not to interrupt you.
I'm almost done.
Okay, I'm not interrupt you. But it's just you've got a habit recently of really making a point of interrupting people, being obnoxious. So okay, I'll stop now. But let's see if we can keep on a good behaviour, and then I'll not interrupt you. Carry on.
Thank you. All I'm saying is, it would be helpful to have numerous photographs of this same observation in different seasons to use as a comparison and not just have one to hang your hat on.
But the thing is, this effect we're seeing here is reflected in many, well, almost, if you take an image, a typical image like this, of looking something like wind turbines over water, 95% of the time it will look something like this. I mean, even your own images look a bit like this, where you've got an inferior mirage.
Rumpus, you're showing us 1%, and you're saying 95% of the time. So where's the other 94%?
Well, any image you choose of something like wind turbines, or even your own images, you will have a small inferior mirage, and then most of it, if you have a tall object in the distance, you will find that most of it is missing. Like I've got here, most of this wind turbine in the front, and most of this one here, most of it is missing. It's not the missing part is not accounted for by the small inferior mirage just above the horizon, which is what you seem to be implying with the evidence of this garage footage.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Let me finish. So you've got a little band of inferior mirage, which I accept, and it's on this screen here, but that does not account for the vast majority of the missing portion of the wind turbines. Go ahead.
Okay, so have you accounted for any kind of fluid dynamics that's going on right now in this image?
You don't know what fluid dynamics means.
I'm asking you a question. Listen, I've asked you a question. Don't ask me that I don't know. I'm asking you.
You don't know what fluid dynamics is.
Listen, the question is very simple.
Well, you're misapplying the word fluid dynamics. You don't know what it is.
Right. If you want to be silenced, that's fine. But I don't want you to be silenced. Listen, I asked you. You asked me to ask you a question.
Okay.
So I asked you a question. So don't ask me about what I know about the question that I asked you. I asked you a question.
Well, the
question is simple.
Okay,
have you got any data that tells you about the fluid dynamics that's going on in this image?
Fluid dynamics. Yes, and you don't know what you mean by fluid dynamics. You're asking me a has no meaning what you're asking. Fluid dynamics is all about account of things like water flow through pipes, or you don't know what fluid dynamics is. So are you trying to say what the behaviour of the sea is or something? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, exactly, Ruhi.
Well, that's not fluid dynamics.
Well done.
You don't know what
fluid dynamics. Yes,
no, it's not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So what do you want me to tell you about what do you want me to tell you about the water?
Rumpus, you may be a smart person, and I won't deny that. You probably are a very smart person. But when it comes to research in this particular category, you clearly have not researched fluid dynamics. And
I know more about fluid dynamics than you do.
No. Listen,
yes, I do.
You're not turning it. You're not turning
you don't even know what fluid dynamics
level
are.
Is fucking horizontal bullshit bollocks. You know.
Well, yeah, that's because you're not turning it on your side. Don't understand that.
You're not turning it into that show here, right?
Okay, I'm fine. I don't want. Yeah, I'm happy not to talk about that.
You do not want to just fucking argue over a simple.
Well, you're using this
about. Listen.
I don't understand what you mean by fluid dynamics because you're misusing the term.
Let me finish. You do not want to end up arguing over the what a particular word means, right? Or a particular couple of words means, right? So you don't want to
agree on our words.
You need to be moving beyond that. You need to be taking that out of the equation and saying, do you know what? Okay, so you don't agree with that. You don't agree with that, right? Okay, so level horizontal bullshit, you know. Right, but let's move beyond that. Let's work out a test that actually.
Well, it is quite important, the level and horizontal thing, because it fundamentally is misunderstood by players.
So listen, let me finish, right? So you need to work out what fluid dynamics means.
I do. I know. I understand it fully.
That. You need
I've got a book on it, Ranty. I've got a book on fluid dynamics. You haven't got a book on fluid dynamics, have you?
I tell you what, get your book out of fluid dynamics. And
it's got nothing to do with the water on the sea.
Get your book right now. And look to the page that talks about the ocean and the ocean.
It doesn't. Fluid dynamics don't talk about oceans. You've got mixed up with oceanography.
Tell me about the fluid dynamics of the ocean. Go ahead.
There's no such thing as fluid dynamics of the ocean. Fluid dynamics is involved with things like water flow through pipes. And accounting for rocket engines is all about fluid dynamics. So oceans are something else.
So there's no fluid dynamics of the oceans. Is that what you're telling me?
It's not fluid dynamics. Is all about.
Is there any fluid dynamics?
No, there isn't. Approximately. I'll summarize it. No, there isn't. No. I'll give you the simple answer.
Okay.
It's nuanced.
Geophysical fluid dynamics. Its broadest meaning refers to the fluid dynamics of naturally occurring flows, such as lava flows, oceans, and planetary atmosphere on Earth and other planets. Oceans on Earth. Fluid dynamics.
That's the flow. We're not talking about flow here.
You have him in a fucking trap, my friend. You should make a video on that. The rumpus is just fell into that trap again. I mean, seriously, the guy has no idea what he's talking about here, Ranty. Dynamics. He has no idea.
What flow are you worrying about here, Ranty?
What did you take into account of Rumpus?
You're in over your head.
What flow are you worrying about?
You're in.
It's
over
got
your
not
head, Bruce.
relevant. There is nothing about fluid dynamics that's relevant to this observation.
You're out
Nothing.
of your depth. You're out of your depth.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. So what, Ranty, information do you want to know about this image that apparently is somehow crucial? Come on, what is it you want to know about flow?
Maybe he's not there, but I'd like to direct you to my screen.
Really neat.
We can get back to that when Ranty rejoins. If you could
I
look-
asked you a question about fluid dynamics. I asked you if you knew what fluid dynamics were going on in this particular image.
And
then
I'm telling you it's irrelevant.
You went into all this irrelevant bollocks.
No,
right?
what fluid
When
dynamics is irrelevant
You have no
to this.
idea.
You've
what
just
the
made
fluid
something up.
dynamics have. You have
I know
no idea.
I've got a book on fluid dynamics. You have no
my
such
goodness.
thing. I have read it. I have done equations on it. I can tell you the flow of liquid through
Alright.
a pipe. I
Okay,
can tell you about the flow of going up and downhill
So
because
tell
of
me
fluid
about the
dynamics.
Scholing effect.
This has got nothing to do with fluid dynamics.
Tell me about the Scholing effect.
No such. That's completely irrelevant to this observation.
That's fluid dynamics. That's what happens with.
Yeah, but it's not relevant to this observation.
Tell me
Not
about
relevant.
fluid dynamics and Scholing. Tell me about it.
But I know that it's irrelevant to this observation.
Well, just how do you know
How
it's
did you
relevant?
determine that it was
Because
irrelevant?
shoaling, which Ranty loves to bring up but is completely irrelevant, is only a little effect brought on close to the shore, and we're looking over it. So any wave that he's claiming here, I think, implying that somehow there's some huge wave close to the observer or coming up to the observer's eye line, and it's not.
Okay.
We're looking over any sort of shoaling effect, which will not be happening here anyway.
Okay. Can you
So
tell me what
it's
the
irrelevant.
effect? Can you tell me what the mean hang on, wait a minute, hold on. Let me just give me 10 seconds to think about this.
Yeah.
So
what was-
don't interrupt, please. Give me 10 seconds.
Oh, I thought you. Okay.
Swell. Okay, so can you tell me what is the mean swell height in the world?
On average,
Mm-hmm.
all over
The
the world,
mean.
you want me
Yeah.
to give you the mean swell.
Swell. Yeah, don't type it and don't tell people to type it for your, just tell me. Can you tell me what it is?
I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I said a few feet, perhaps, or
Okay.
0.
Can you tell me what it is in Australia, let's say, or Hawaii? In fact, let's go to Hawaii. Let's just say, what's the mean swell height in Hawaii?
Oh, well, Hawaii is rather rough. It's very windy, so they do have quite a lot of
Never
swell.
mind the wind. No, the wind is different to swell. The wind is complete.
It
the
causes swell,
wind-
Ranty.
The wind has absolutely
wind-
nothing to do
You're
with
telling
swell.
me the wind doesn't cause
The
swell?
wind has nothing to do with swell.
That's
The wind
incredible.
has
Okay.
absolutely nothing to swell.
So your claim, let's get this right. Let's record
Yeah.
this, everybody. Ranty's just said
The wind
that
has
swell
nothing to do with
has
swell.
nothing. The wind
Yeah.
has nothing to do with
The
swell.
wind has nothing to do with swell. That's correct. Yeah.
That's completely wrong.
Not storms, 1,000 miles away, have things to do with the swell. But
Yes, exactly.
wind-
And what it's the
wind-
wind that
hold on,
causes it, isn't
hold on,
it?
Hold on.
And what causes
Wind-
that
no, no.
roughness? It's the wind.
No, no,
Oh my
but
God.
wind has
So it
nothing
is
to
the
do
wind,
with-
isn't it, Ranty?
Tell me what is the wind.
So it is the wind, isn't it?
Tell
It's
me
the
what is-
wind that causes swell.
Tell me.
You're just saying it's wind further away. That's
No,
all. It's still wind, isn't it?
Is this Bev 0.2 or something or whatever?
But Ranty, are you now claiming that all that you're saying
Tell
now is
me.
it's the wind some distance away that's caused distant waves
Tell me.
because of the wind?
What is the swell in Hawaii locally throughout the year?
I suspect it's quite big in Hawaii.
Could you give me I don't know. Just give me a guess. Tell me some
Well,
metric.
why don't you tell me what the swell is off Cornwall, St. Ives, please?
I
Tell
don't
me
know.
now.
I'm asking you
No,
a
no, tell me now. I want to know what the swell is off St. Ives. Please tell me now. Come on, tell me now, Ranty.
7
What
feet.
is the swell off the average swell off St. Ives in Cornwall? Please tell me now.
7 feet.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, can you prove that?
No, I'm going to leave you to research that and find out that you're wrong.
Okay, so can you tell me what the swell is in Hawaii then?
7 feet.
Oh, you're wrong.
Is it 7.5 feet?
No, it's more than that.
Yeah, I know. It's actually going to be quite big. Hawaii's a bit special because it's an island. There's a lot of wind there, and they do have a lot of swell in Hawaii. That's the reason why they have such big waves there. But
well, hold on. Can you tell me what swell is? I mean, can you tell me what the issue with the swell is there?
Are you still denying it's caused by wind?
Just a second. Why is it higher in Hawaii than it is in Cornwall? Because you literally just told me that it's lower.
Because the fetch for Hawaii is much larger.
What's the fetch? Can you explain to the audience what the fetch is?
The length of the period over which a wind acts. But then again, you claim
the wind. Oh, it's just the wind. So you're talking about the wind-driven.
So you're denying that swell is caused by wind.
Oh my God, Rumpus, you are seriously deluded in this. You do not know what the hell you are talking about.
Oh, I do.
You don't know what the Beaufort scale is, do you?
Oh, I do, absolutely.
No, well, if you did, you would know that that's wind-driven waves. And that's totally different to the swell. The swell is amplified by the Beaufort scale, and you have no idea what the fuck you are talking about, do you? Go ahead. Tell everybody how stupid you are. Go ahead.
Right. No, well, I know you're stupid. I mean, you don't even...
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You've talked
Here we
about,
go.
The Beaufort scale. Go ahead. The Beaufort wind scale. Go ahead. Tell us about that. And then tell us where it's different from the fucking swell. Tell us.
Here we go.
Do it. Go.
Here we go. So I said to you, I'm about to, I told you it's about the fetch of the wind, and I'm now reading off the swell webpage, and here it says the surface gravity waves are not wind waves, which are generated by immediate local, but instead are generated by Listen, stop interrupting. I'm about to expose you as an idiot. But are caused by distant weather systems where wind blows for duration over time over a fetch of water. Exactly as I said it, you utter moron. Swell is caused by wind, just not local wind, as I said. You stupid, utter Dunning-Kruger twat.
The wind in the 2,000 miles away caused like the distant fucking hurricane, cyclone.
So it's caused by wind, isn't it, Ranty? But just distant wind. You utter moron. You are utterly wrong when you said it was not caused by wind. My God. You know nothing about the subject, do you? I gave you exactly the right answer. It's caused by the fetch. And you claimed I didn't know what I was talking about. And you said it wasn't caused by wind, and it's caused by a fetch of the wind, just like I said, you utter Dunning-Kruger moron.
Can somebody server mute this guy, please? Right.
I can't put up with a twat telling me I don't know what I'm doing, and then it turns out he doesn't know what he's talking about. Sod off, you twat.
Absolutely. So here's the thing, right? So a 2,000 miles away, you have a distant storm that creates a swell. So the storm 2,000 miles away creates the swell. That swell travels at around about 500 miles an hour, far faster than the wind, through the water. That water ends up creating the swell where you are 5, 6, 7,000 miles away, right? It's not the wind, it's the swell. The wind may have created the swell, but the swell travels to the location where you are specifically talking about the swell, not the wind. You're talking about the swell. And then you have two effects. You have the swell, and then you have the wind. The wind is measured on the Beaufort scale, and the swell is measured, obviously, on the swell scale. And coupled with that, you also have the shoaling effect, which is also amplified by the shoaling effect. The shoaling effect is also amplified by the steepness of the slope that it goes up to in the shallower regions. So you have the Beaufort scale, which is the wind-driven waves locally, not the swell, because 2,300 miles away or whatever, you had the storm system that created the swell, which traveled far faster than the wind. This moron knows nothing about this. Absolutely nothing. So you could have a 2-meter swell locally with the shoaling effect, which could increase it to 4 meters, with the Beaufort scale, which could increase it by another 4 meters, right, with the wind. So essentially, you could have 8 meters of obstruction.
How does the Beaufort scale work, Ranty? Do you know from 1 to 12 what the...
Yeah, you've got different. You've got fair. It goes on things like fair, fair weather, medium weather, you know.
Oh, I see.
Breeze.
It doesn't give you a value like the number of.
Yes, it does.
Oh, it does.
It does, yeah. Yeah, so when it's around about 6 or 7, it's around about 20 to 25 miles an hour, you know, for the wind. So, you know, around about 6 is about 20 to 25. Don't quote me on this, but it's about that. And then 6 to 7, it's around about 25 to 35 miles an hour, something like that. So when you've got this amount of wind, you know, so let's say 35 mile an hour winds, right? If you had no swell, just the wind, right? It would create this this scale that would lift the waves. You know, if you was blowing 35 mile an hour winds over a flat body of water, eventually over a period of distance, it would create waves that were like, you know, 8 feet tall.
Yeah, I'm looking at a chart right now on my screen for UK and Ireland, and you can see it ranges anywhere from, you know, 2 to farther out to sea, even along shore, maybe 18 feet, 16, 18 feet in some places.
Yeah,
There's another natural phenomenon.
People need to understand that, listen, at the end of the day, right, there is always the globers that want to place you on a flat ocean, right? That's what they want. They want you on a flat ocean so that you tie yourself to a flat ocean. You should never tie yourself to a flat ocean. The ocean is always moving, and you always need to know what's going on underneath the water. Because if you watch a stream, if you are right, listen, place yourself in this position. You're watching a stream. The water's flowing by in you know, it's symmetry. It's in symmetry. The water's going exactly where it needs to be. You get a brick and you throw that brick in the water, right? You disrupt the motion of that water as it goes through the stream. And what do you see? You see the water piling over that brick, right? So it lifts itself up, and it raises itself higher than the water to either side of it. So either side of that brick, the water is quite level, but directly over the brick, it is 3-4 inches higher, and that's just over a stream. So if you place that same idea into a estuary, into a localized channel, anything, yeah, exactly. You put that in there, the water is going to move up and over it. It's going to get funneled. It's going to get moved around. Fluid dynamics.
Worse than the Beaufort scale.
Rumpus doesn't understand fluid dynamics. When I said to him fluid dynamics, he needs to understand the motions of the ocean. Brandon hit it spot on when he mentioned, you know, the oceans. He said the movement of the oceans. Rumpus ignored that, but that's the truth. The motions of the ocean are affected with fluid dynamics. Absolutely. You throw a 100-foot boulder in the ocean, and you're going to have a damn big wave as it goes over it. You know, you can't deny that. As the tide goes in and out, it's what's going to happen. So anybody that denies that is just denying fluid dynamics, and Rumpus is one of those guys.
And it gets worse because you have that Beaufort and your average wave height with the winds, but it doesn't really end there. 3 waves can combine and go up. So you can have 3 10-foot waves that can move together and form one 30-foot tall wave. It's thinner, but it's taller. And that's how rogue waves are formed. And they have recordings of rogue waves over 110 feet tall, hitting, you know, literally the platforms of oil rigs in the Beaufort Sea and other places. But that's because 3 smaller waves combine vertically, form one wave that's 3 times as high. And that's not included on the Beaufort scale. That's a harmonics thing that happens. And every so many waves that are generated will produce one of these harmonic waves. where 3 of them add together and create 3 times higher wave. And like I say, that's on the Beaufort scale.
Rumpus can't argue with me on this because I've owned his arse so many times on this particular argument. He knows that. And, yeah, he got silenced. I don't know. I think that was
audience helping. It's his only recourse when he knows he's losing. He raises his voice, he mic bullies, and then he starts the insult barrage. It's a pattern, you know?
I've debated him a few times on this, and it's, you know, it's literally like saying, here is a centimetre, let's debate the measurement of the centimetre. Because, you know, I mean, what I'm talking about is the centimetre, and that's it, you know, we're talking about the centimetre, let's measure it, and he's talking about let's not measure it. Makes no sense, you know what I mean? He wants to take you away from the actual proofs of the way the ocean behaves, the way that fluid works, and he wants to
through his nonsense. You know, I've seen that for years.
He wants to put you on a flat. He wants to put you on a flat, motionless ocean. That's what he wants to do. As long as he puts you on a flat, motionless ocean, he can say whatever the hell he wants. However, and I want to say this, I want to hold on. Let me finish. So, Pebble in the Pebble in what's it called? Pebble. Anyway, well, whatever. Pebble, who's doing this up and down garage thing, is showing the same thing, you know, on a flat plane. So even then, he's kind of debunked. But what he wants to do is he wants to put you on a flat and motionless water so that he can invoke his magical bullshit bollocks kind of inferior, you know, fucking 7/6 over R bollocks refraction, which doesn't work anyway. It never matches. You know, it's always greater than. It's always like fucking 9/6. You know, it's never 7/6. It's always 9/6 or 10/6, right? But he wants to invoke that, right? Because he wants to ignore fluid dynamics. But as soon as you put fluid dynamics in the way, suddenly 8/6R suddenly becomes 12/6R. Suddenly 10/6R becomes 14/6R, right? Because as soon as you put fluid dynamics in the way, that's an obstruction that isn't Earth curve, right? It really is. As soon as you put fluid dynamics in the way of their bollocks 7/6R, it really kicks them in the arse. 7/6R is all about being on a flat surface, right? But when you put fluid dynamics in the way, it cripples their argument. Cripples it.
Or they'll try to say it has a minimal
effect. No, it cripples it. No.
I know it does, but they'll say
it cripples their
minimal effect. It does not negligible. Yeah, that's why it's no point in arguing with Rumpus for anything. Especially in the end when he loses, which is every time, he gets to this barrage of, you know, well, we all know it, you know. I don't know. It's the same thing over and over and over. For him, like I said earlier before the show started, he's like a record when it has a scratch on it and it jumps at the same thing or back a few notes.
Travis, can you mute that? Right. There you go. No, Travis was causing a lot of feedback there.
But yeah, eventually there'll be no actual point for Rumpus to, you know, try to go back to the same thing over and over and over. And that scrolling, it almost gives me epilepsy. Shorten it a bit, take the highlights out, make a little highlight copy or something. Jesus.
Brandon, I think that's you, mate. You need to mute.
Yeah, I was having some problems with my mic. How does it sound now?
Yeah, you were just going. You know, it was like
a bumblebee.
Yeah, I had to restart the mic for some reason. It restart OBS, so it was all screwed up. Thanks. I thought you guys were ignoring me. I was like, Jimbo, why are you ignoring me? So no one, no one was ignoring me. I don't know how long it was like that before.
Hey guys, this is Gadget Inspector. You guys hear me, yeah?
Hey, Gadget Inspector,
Hey, Gadget.
how you going?
Yeah, how's it going, guys? I'm trying to send a few bob in, but the link's not working for some cause. I don't know.
There
It's
you
not
go.
super chat now.
Yeah.
I'm going through your link. It's not working.
My link?
Hey, listen,
My link,
Yeah,
Gadget, the
Yeah,
Streamlabs thing?
Yeah, I tried
Yeah,
5 and
I
10
think
pounds
I-
or liras, and it didn't work for me either. I
Uh,
didn't get confirmation mail, nothing. It just
I just heads
clicked
up,
through
guys.
and
I
nothing
don't know
happened.
what the fuck's going on. Probably they don't want you to get money. I don't know.
no, it's
Okay.
working for other people, guys. I don't know if you guys got the
Well,
right link, but I'll put a
Maybe it's
different link
Canada or
in.
something. I don't get a Canadian choice for money, just the pounds.
Yeah.
well, here's the thing. Here's
They
the thing,
won't
guys.
take my
So,
card because it's,
Yeah,
anybody, hold on, Gadget, hold on. So anybody that wants to support Brandon in his new show, which he has right now, please avoid smashing the super chat, because that super chat motherfucking bastard thing.
No. They get
Actually,
40%.
let me finish, right? And I only checked this out once I gave the show to Brandon. I only checked it out afterwards, but those motherfucking bastards take 45%. Seriously, almost half of the money that you give in a super chat goes to YouTube and their associates, right? So literally half of that ends up in Brandon's pocket, right? And if you give $10, that's only $5 that gets to Brandon. However, if you go to Streamlabs and you give to Brandon gets, he gets it all. You give him $10 there, he gets pretty much his $10. He doesn't get 45% ripped off of him. So if you are I don't want to support YouTube and I don't want to support Google and I want to support Brandon, then hit the fucking Streamlabs, right? Do it. It takes 2 minutes to set up it takes 2 minutes. That's all it takes. And then you can smash the super chat as much as you like. But you smash it on Streamlabs. You don't do it on YouTube. Because YouTube
Streamlabs not fucking working.
Seriously, shut up!
It's not working.
Stop interrupting! Fuck's sake! Let me shill for Brandon, for God's sake, man. Can you keep quiet for just a minute? Just trying to tell everybody what the hell's going on, right? And the Globers know this, and everybody else knows this. But on my show, I was happy to let people just keep smashing the super chat and just let YouTube and take 45%, right? But Brandon here is suffering because YouTube is still taking 45% when you smash the super chat. Smash the Streamlabs. Seriously. Guys, if you want to support the show, support Brandon on the Streamlabs. Avoid the super chat. That's all I'm going to say. There you go.
All right. Appreciate that, Randy. Yep. Go ahead, Gadget. I think you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not working. I wanted to put a few bob in there tonight, but it's not working.
Well, that sucks. I did put the link in general. It might be a different link. But if it's not working, I apologize for that. Not sure I can do anything about that, but thanks for the effort there. Gadget, I will send you my my PayPal address if that'll work for you. Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, and I'll try again for Ranty's GoFundMe and stuff, but
probably will work
try another card on it.
Yeah, and I'm not that worried about financial support for the show, but it's nice to get. It helps me justify the time that I spend away from the family doing this, buy new gadgets or whatever. So I appreciate it. Anyway,
listen, Brandon, let me just interrupt there. You know what I'm saying, right? I'm going to interrupt you, right? So just let me speak. And everyone let me speak. Listen, if you want to put your hand in your pocket and you want to give £10 to Brandon, you want to hit the super chat and you want to give $9.99 and you want to hit £10, right? Whatever. Brandon only gets half of that when you hit the super chat. You see that little $sign at the bottom underneath your name. You hit that. You're basically giving half of that to YouTube. But if you hit the Streamlabs, all of that goes to Brandon, right? And he can continue doing what he does with twice as much fucking money. If you're a true flat earther, you would hit the Streamlabs and you would fuck YouTube off and say, do you know what? I'm not going to hit the fucking little $sign at the bottom that says, just give a super chat. Because Brandon will still shout out your super chat, essentially, on Streamlabs. But but he will get twice as much money. So what are you in? You guys,
But Randy,
hit
I don't want
the Streamlabs, guys. There's a little link at the top.
Can you
Hit
share
that
your link? I
Streamlabs.
don't want to give my money to Brandon. I want to dig you out. I want to give you a dig out. So
No,
can you put
I'm
your
not.
dig?
It's Brandon's show now, my friend, and I mean,
I want to give you a dig out. Can you put your link in there?
I think he's talking about your GoFundMe.
oh
Like,
right,
I'm trying
okay.
to
Well,
get
you can find that on if you look on my channel and you go to the community tab. So if you go to my channel and you look at the community tab, you'll find the link there, my friend. Okay. But
Okay.
I'm talking about people. I'm talking about people that actually support the show. So listen, all I'm saying is be wise with your money, right?
Yeah.
So I know that flat earthers, essentially, you give it $5 or $10, it means a lot to you. But if you're giving half of that to YouTube, half of that only gets to Brandon. Just use the fucking Streamlabs. It's the same fucking process. It literally is the same process, but he gets all of it. Seriously, guys, think about this. Be reasonable. Just hit the Streamlabs and let him get twice as much money as what he would get on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's it's a no-brainer.
Ranty, can you
Ranty,
can you put a thing in the general there so I can send money to you?
I think he wants your link to your GoFundMe. So we did, Esteban Ilabaka asked a question. How can any of this explain a tanker with more than half of it clearly missing? Mirages, fluid dynamics, and angular compression just fall flat. I think we'd have to take that on a picture-by-picture basis, Esteban, and take a look at it, how far it is. But if it falls flat for you, we're trying our best to explain and understand the natural world and the observations that we have. It's up to you whether you see it or not, whether you think that what we're saying is correct or incorrect.
Listen, sorry, I'm literally, this is my last comment, right? So I don't want to be taking over the show, and I don't mean to piss on your parade, Brandon, but I want to make sure that your channel makes the next year. You need to be supported through the whole year. So if the community gives you let's say $500, for the month, instead of getting $250 from YouTube, I want to see that you get that $500. And the only way you're going to do that is by using the Streamlabs tab. And that's just me saying that after researching what happened. When I was looking through the logs in YouTube, because I wasn't bothered about it either. I really wasn't bothered. It was only when I gave the challenge to you that I started looking into it and found out that YouTube fuckers were taking 45%. What the fuck, man? But listen, it's not all about the money. But yeah. So listen, this is my final thing. I'm gonna step out now. So somebody asked, Gadget Inspector asked me to provide the link.
In general, so I can.
Yeah, so I'll provide the link in the YouTube. Are you watching the YouTube stream right now?
Yeah, I'm watching it. We're having some internet gremlins over here. Yeah.
So if you're watching the YouTube stream right now, I will post the link in the YouTube stream right now, so that if you want to donate to my YouTube to my GoFundMe, that's fine. But all I'm saying is that all the people that have supported this show over the past few years, if you really want to make a difference to the show and to bring this forward and to give more impetus to it going forward, you have to. If you want to support Brandon, support him on the Streamlabs link that's in the top. Don't use the super chat, because YouTube take 45% off of you, right? And it's not 30%, it's 45%. So all I'm saying is, please support Brandon on the Streamlabs link that he provides. He's not putting there for any other reason than to make you use it, support him. It takes 2 minutes to set up an account and you can use it. It's literally the same. And listen, I'm not a shill person, but I know
here, so I'm trying to get those fixed. I've had to restart a couple times. Oh, frickin' Comcast. What a pain in the ass. It's always something. Okay, let's. I appreciate that, Randy. What you were saying. Let's move on.
No. Let's not move on. If I employ you for a job, right, and I give you the option of one payment or another payment, and one of them I can give you 40, I can give you 55%, or the other I can give you 100%. Which one are you going to choose?
No, I think people get it, Randy. They do. Yeah. They get it.
So please use the Streamlabs, please.
Yep, they get it. Yep, I've had good support on there, so I appreciate any support that we get. Okay, so I did want to do something kind of fun tonight. I think we've gone over Pebble in the pond. I know we got diverted there with Rumpus a little. So Pebble, was there anything else that you wanted to cover on your video, or is that time long past, or any other comments you had before we move on?
People mentioned that they couldn't see the objects well enough, so I just took some more videos and went up closer. So right now I'm sharing the.
Oh, you've got some new stuff. Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
Ranty's a tranny. Ranty's a tranny and a sellout fraud. Brandon, you.
Okay, that was nice. I hope you appreciate that. Ranty's a tranny. Wow. Let's take a look at Pebble in the pond. And let me ban that guy. Oh, he's gone. Damn.
A tranny with 2 kids, by the way.
That's a pretty neat trick there, Ranty. I didn't know that was possible.
I wasn't sure that I could actually have 2 children being a tranny. But yeah, thanks for the input though. Much appreciated.
Modern miracle. All right. It's always something on this show. What do you got here, Pebble? Let's get back to flat Earth.
Yeah, so I just went up to 50 meters and took a new video.
50 meters. Okay. All right, cool. Same viewer height?
Yep. When I opened the door, that pink reflector tipped over because of the wind coming, or the air coming in. So it kind of blocked the green reflector, but we can still see that light disappear and other effects.
There it is again. Ships bottom up. So this happens even at 50 meters. Now we do see the light blink through a little more in this one. So it blinks in and out.
Yeah.
And before you were at 80 meters, right? So this is about 90 feet closer, 30. Well, that's horrible math. So 50, 150 feet before you were 240. So 90 feet closer. Oh, look at this on the right side here. You can how you see that that air. That's pretty cool. And it's interesting because you're closer, the light appears higher. Did you send this to me by any chance, Pebble? Because maybe I'll include this in the video too that I'm putting together.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, but yeah, I haven't sent them to you yet.
Sure.
So that was from 50, and then I don't know which one is it. Probably that one.
Hey, can you go back to the beat?
30.
30? Oh, are you?
Oh.
Are you sharing still?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate you taking the input that we've given you and continuing to take more observations. It's awesome. Well, let me watch your stream again. There we go. I got it.
Yeah, so this is from 30 meters.
Okay. This is prior to... Oh, there's the door. Okay. Yeah, look at those weird effects you're getting at 30 meters. It looks different. Just the target itself before the door opens. That was really weird. And then you see that come through. Now the light is coming through that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's starting to double there.
Yeah, definitely do see that doubling. There it goes.
A lot of turbidity too.
Yeah, quite a bit. The further you get away, the more that light disappears. Now you've got doubling. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's really interesting.
It might sound Canadian cliche, but they used to have camera angles at hockey games after the ice is, coated and frozen and stuff. And depending sometimes on the temperature in the arena, you get these mirroring effects in some of these camera shots. It's making me kind of think back to, some of these camera views across the ice and when they open the doors for the Zamboni and all this stuff. Same stuff.
Oh, when the hot air would rush in when they'd bring the Zamboni in?
Yeah, same basic idea. Or even if the arena's cold at just below zero and, anyway, some arenas, only the ice area is cold. The benches are heated where people are. It's very comfortable. But when they open the back things behind the goal and the Zamboni comes on, then warm air, cold air, whatever, it's a big place for exchange and a good time, But anyway, you see a lot of these effects down the ice the beginning of a period of hockey.
Sure.
After the Zamboni leaves the ice.
So
players start coming on and they show the low angle at the ice level. Pretty neat. There was fog in one. Philadelphia, they had a Stanley Cup series, and the air temperature in the arena, outside everything, it was just perfect that there was a layer of fog. You couldn't see the puck on the ice.
Thanks, Ranty. I appreciate that.
They tried skating around with blankets to vent it and everything, and they just had to kind of wait till some air conditioning and other stuff kicked in and got rid of the condition. But the game was called for a while because of fog in a building.
So I'm just thinking about your stuff, Pebble. At 240 feet, 80 meters, the light completely blinked out. I mean, you could not see that light at all. At 50 meters, the light blinked in and out. You saw it, but there were times when you couldn't see it. And then at 30 meters, you could see the light the entire time. So it's like there's some distance where there's enough atmosphere in between you and the light to make it disappear completely. So I wonder what variables are involved in that besides distance, if there's, some height or what. But that's pretty cool. It doesn't take very far before the atmosphere itself will completely block a light.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I didn't have time to do that suggestion that Brian Leakey had. And I'm on vacation for the next 3 weeks, so I won't be doing any testing
Okay.
for some time.
Okay, cool. Well, we look forward to the next stuff. I've got enough work to do right now as it is to pull together what you've already put together into a short video that should be pretty hard hitting. And there goes my video feed again, blinking out. Speaking of blinking out, sorry for that, folks. Okay, cool. Thank you, Pebble. So we've got about an hour left. What I wanted to do is...
Pebble is ace, by the way. I just want to say that. Pebble is ace.
Absolutely. Yeah, much appreciate your work, man.
Thanks.
What I wanted to do is I wanted to take some of these common questions that we get asked as flat earthers, and I wanted to take a couple of people and ask them the question and have each of them offer their explanation. So kind of a little, they're not debating each other. They're just both offering their explanation. And then we'll have the audience decide which is a better explanation. So it's a contest, but in some cases you might have the exact same explanation, but just for fun. So you've got to be on your microphone and able to talk, but you'll have a minute or two to respond to the question in any way you want, and then we'll go to the other person have them do it, and then we'll ask the audience out there in the chat to vote either 1 or 2 for each person, and just for fun, just to see what we come up with. Anybody, you guys good with that? Give it a try.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Do I have any volunteers for the first 2? Anybody want to be the brave souls to go first?
Brandon, if you want to explain it again, I'll go first. I just missed it. I was thinking something else. I just caught. What is it about?
Which topic you want to do, SE? I'll do it real quick. I got 2 minutes.
Oh no, I'm going to pick the topic. I just need 2 volunteers. You won't know the question, but Jeremy, you're gonna go, and Allie, I'm just going to ask you guys a question.
2 minutes.
It's a common question that flat earthers get asked, or something that comes up a lot, or we get asked to explain. You offer your explanation or whatever you think about the subject, and then we'll have the chat vote between the 2, which explanation they preferred or agreed with more or whatever. Vote for the best one in their opinion, and we'll see who wins, just for fun.
Yeah, I'm up for it. Go for it.
Awesome. So Allie B and Jeremy are going to be the first 2. Okay, I'll ask the question, and then we'll let Jeremy, you want to go first or second, since you were the first volunteer. You locked it in first, and then
SC said he would do it too, but I just let me go first.
No, go ahead. I just want to do Soundworks.
I only got a couple minutes, so I'll go first. Go ahead. What is it?
This could go all wrong, man.
What is it? Hit me.
All right. Here it is. Explain gravity on a flat Earth.
Oh, I thought you were gonna have something tough. Oof. I would explain it like relative density. There could be other factors involved, magnetism, electrostatics. But I would just say basically, the observation is pretty much relative density. If something's more dense if there's an object in a medium and the object is more dense, then the object will go down. If it's less dense, it goes up.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Short and sweet. Allie B, explain gravity on a flat Earth.
All right, okay. In this atmosphere we find ourselves in, things tend towards the Earth. That's it.
Quit blabbering, Ali.
He said atmosphere. He said atmosphere. He lost.
I'm not laughing at you, Allie. I'm laughing at how short it was.
No, that's all right. That's my answer.
Okay, fair enough. So the chat heard the answers. We're going to vote. And then we will open it up to the floor for any comments from the peanut gallery on that subject. So let's have the chat go ahead right now. Vote number 1 for Jeremy, number 2 for Allie B's explanation or answer to the question, explain gravity on a flat Earth. 1 for Jeremy, 2 for Allie B, and I'll type it in here. 1 for Jeremy, 2 for Allie B.
Vote for Jeremy.
I'll tell you one thing. Magnetism doesn't work because gravity doesn't work underwater, but magnets do.
Hey, you wait your turn now, Brick. Come on. You wait your turn.
All right, you guys. So does anybody have any thoughts on either of the explanations or want to expand a little bit?
I have a thought.
While people are voting. Go ahead.
You should time Ali, give him only 2 minutes, because, man... That answer
He's monologuing.
Yeah, monologue.
He's on a tirade, basically.
Shout out, Ali. I'm just kidding. Short and sweet.
I was worried about people going too long. That's why I set the 2-minute time limit. But obviously that wasn't a concern in this case. All right. I take it people are done voting. Anybody else have any comments? We'll give them another 30 seconds to vote. 1 for Jeremy, 2 for Allie B. 1.
Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Brandon, I'm sitting here with my little girl. She's not totally a flat earther. She's sitting down on the couch with her friend. Okay. They have one question. They have a couple of questions here. Okay. They're only 18 years old. So I just go. Come on, number.
Does the Earth has a noyau?
Does the Earth have a hollow?
Hello. Yes.
Hello, hello.
No. Oh, say it again. Come on.
Le noyau au milieu. Le
Does-
noyau.
no, you say it. Go on, Amber.
Noyau.
No. Does the earth have
Has a noyau.
a middle? Does the earth
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
nut in the
yeah.
middle or something like that?
Well, that's a great question. Does the Earth have a middle? I'm going to tell you that the furthest that we've gone down into the Earth as human species is 8 miles. Now, they say that they can shoot sound waves or what are they called? Sonar right into the ground. Is it radar? It's sonar, right? Into the ground and get an image back that they make assumptions on what is further down in the Earth. But the furthest we've been down is 8 miles. Now, even on their globe model, the globe is supposed to be, what is it? How thick is the globe? 8,000 miles thick? Is that right? Something like that? Yeah,
Yep,
7,995, something like that. So 8,000.
Yeah, times 2.
So they've been, what, 1% into the Earth? About 2% towards the middle? Oh, really, when someone tells you that they know what is in the middle of the Earth, it's just a guess based on very limited information of the upper surfaces. Does that make sense, or did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
One more thing needs to be said, very important for that, if I may, Brandon.
Yeah, sure.
In the hole that Brandon just mentioned, not only did they only go 8 miles down approximately, but they got it wrong. What they predicted they would be there, they got it wrong just about every mile down. So they're trying to tell us what's 4,000 miles down? I don't think so.
It could be, probably is hollow because we have found underground cities. Tartarus, hell could be down there. More water. I go with the biblical cosmology, so I think it's flat land on top of pillars on top of a watery deep with hollow underground caverns in there somewhere.
The Bible is not literal.
There
What I
was
would like to
there
tell
was
the young
under.
person, though, if I may, one last thing. What I would like to tell the young person, research the Russian borehole. You will find it very interesting.
I just go with what the biblical cosmology says because God was there.
Yeah,
No,
the Bible
you
is
believe
not
what he said?
literal. The Bible
He's the
is
only
not
person.
literal.
That he's the only person qualified to say anything since he was there. We weren't, so I tend to believe what he says.
Guys,
The Bible is not literal.
let's please not get detoured down that road
Not
right
too
now.
deep yet.
I think
but along
Gadget's
the
daughters
lines of the
have
young-
gotten an
along-
answer to their question, and I would like to announce the winner of round 1. That is... Oh, wait, which numbers were you? I just forgot. I don't want to say the wrong
Two
thing.
was
like
Allie
at
B.
the Emmy, so
Two was
hold
Allie
on. Allie, or no, Jeremy, you have won 5-2. 5-2. Jeremy is the victor.
It's rigged. It's rigged.
You won a free trip to the moon, Jeremy.
Now, Aaron Armstrong
think
did
it might
try to ballot stuff and voted for Allie B 4 times. Aaron, I did catch your ballot stuffing. So, nice try there, buddy.
Thank you, Aaron.
Hey.
Appreciate that, brother.
At least you could do that. Like, it doesn't seem like our government can.
Who wants to go next? SE, I think you volunteered before. Are you up for the
Before
second
we
round?
move on real quick, Brandon, I'd like to say
sure,
something about
Brandon.
the question that the young lady asked.
Yeah,
was,
sure.
Does the Earth have a middle? And middle, it's kind of I wouldn't say vague question, but center might be, because it depends on your perspective. So you mean center of a surface, or center like a subsurface center from a different shaped surface, right? So we don't know where she was coming from when she asked that question. Does the Earth have a middle? What shape was the Earth that she was
Oh,
asking
that's a
about?
great point. Yeah, because on a flat Earth
I
model,
honestly-
Polaris would be the maybe the middle. You could call that the middle, like right under the center where the stars rotate around.
Sure.
Yeah, good point. Gadget, did your daughters have another question? Maybe that we'll make that the question for round 2. We've got SE Montreal, and who else is going to volunteer?
Hey, does
Go on,
Wait,
go on.
hold on,
Come
Gadget.
Robert.
Let me get the second volunteer real quick. Come on, we need a second volunteer. Lemon, how about you?
Sure.
Awesome. So we've
Well,
got
don't sound
SE
too
versus Lemon.
enthusiastic now, Lemon.
and Gadget daughter is going to ask the question. What is it?
Yeah, Amber's here. Yeah, she wants to ask you a question, Brandon.
Go for it.
Why does
Go on.
why when we are looking at to a boat and he's vlogging,
It's gone over the curve. Yeah.
why he's going down?
Okay,
Did you get
let me
that?
restate the question and see if I understand. Why, when we were looking at the boat, she's essentially asking, why does it look like it goes over a curve? Why can't we see the bottom of the boat sometimes? Is that fair to say, or is it different?
Exactly.
Okay, great. That's the question. And Essie, you can go first.
Can I have a clarification? Is the boat moving away or static? Is it just on the water, or is it actually moving? Just clarification.
When you see a boat,
I don't know why. Why does that even matter?
We'll let Essie. Let's not complicate it too much, Aaron. I think we get the gist. You know what they say about the boat disappearing. So let's just go to Essie. Go ahead. Maybe you can.
I got you.
Sure, I'd love to answer that question. It's actually an optical illusion because they tell us that a man standing on the beach, 6 foot tall, the boat should disappear from 3 miles away. And we see that with our eyes. But when we have like magnification, like a camera, like a P900, we can zoom it back in. We can zoom in and we bring the boat back in. So we know that it's an optical illusion. And we have people like Travis, who explains us the ether band, which is actually what happens in the atmosphere due to various different things that cause the effect. You can go on Travis's website, YouTube. You'll see many examples. I have one perfectly that on my site. Just check out SE 4 Mile Bridge, and you're going to see these people paddling. And when you zoom in, you're going to see they're around the 3 mile line, and you're going to see they disappear bottom first. Have a look, and that's the best explanation I can give you. It's an optical illusion.
Thank you, SE. Within the time limit, Lemon, you're up.
It's just the top and bottom half of your vision coming together to make a horizon line. The boat is mostly in the top half of your vision versus the bottom, so the bottom's going to merge up into your eye level faster than the top part because there's more of the object distributed in the top half of your vision. You can see it when you're looking down a hallway. The top half of your vision from your eye level up appears to ramp downward, and the part of your vision from your eye level down to the floor to ramp up. So the part of the boat that's in the lower half of your vision just ramps up, and it gets to the point where it's so smushed at the level of the eyes, it's beyond angular resolution. So the technical answer would be the diffraction limit of the eye as the light crowds into your eye. Basically, the bottom part of the object is going to appear to smush it into the eye level. That's basically it. Over a flat plane.
All right. Thank you, Lemon, for the response. So the voting will be SE1, Lemon 2, SE1, Lemon 2. Go ahead, chat. Get your votes in now, and the floor is open for clarifications or responses. I'll be away from the mic for about 1 minute, so you guys fill the air, please.
I'd like to say that they're both right on this because it is an illusion. It's an illusion, and it's happening because of perspective and other atmospheric effects.
I would just like to state how bored Lemon sounds when he gives his his example. He just sounds so bored, and I love it. I love it.
That's actually very fascinating.
I think Lemon was pretty concise myself.
I just did some flat smacking tonight with my girl and our friend there tonight. They were listening to the whole show. They're going up to bed now. Thanks very much for that. They're absolutely going to look into it now. They're only 17, 18, but They're actually going to look into it now. Do you want
Let them keep throwing questions at us. Do they got more questions?
Yeah, they're a bit shy, you know. They're only young, but they're absolutely going to look into it now. So that's good. That's smacking.
Brandon, I'm telling you, we need to get our bingo cards out. Now, we instead of baller bingo, we could have flat Earth bingo, right? So we'll just see what flat Earther's going to say what. You know, Ali B said something, and Jeremy said density. So, boom, I got an X on my bingo card, and you know, first one to win has to super chat, right?
I would have also hold on, Brandon. I would have also added into my explanation that we know it's not going over a curve because we know that we don't see the geometric horizon, the geometry of Earth. So,
can I make a point quickly, Brandon, about that? I've always wondered this. I don't think that anybody's ever actually stood on the beach and seen a boat or saw a boat going over the horizon. I think it gets too small before you see it. So I don't
exactly,
because I'm wondering how that guy, whatever his name was, that proclaimed it.
Yeah, Aristotle. Yeah.
Yeah, but I Travis, have you ever seen? You get different effects where you are, but I'm just wondering. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. So when I first got my P900 and I was on the California coast, that was the very first thing that I debunked for myself, was that the boats were never going over the curve. They were just going out of my field of view. And so then I also understood at that point that no mere man with his naked eye can claim that he is watching a boat go over the curve, because the resolution would be impossible to do that.
Would you say, Travis, that the lens there on the P900 just kind of magnifies, but with all the distortion involved there, magnifies what if you could see that far?
Right. Well, we know. Yeah, we know how field glasses work. Field glass simply extends your line of sight.
Yes, which is strictly limited to your eye anyway.
Right, and then your eye sees what nature produces with distance, perspective, the conditions of the medium. So you can't undo with your camera the distortion that happens with refraction. You can't. There's no. You know, it's not like a filter. You can't put a filter on and get rid of refraction.
If I was allowed to rephrase what I said, I would say it's like perspective, you know, like how the light poles combine, and what you say, Travis, the ether band. Those two, I didn't really clarify, but I would say those two things combined.
Yeah, but I think, listen, guys, I think that story's just made up then.
But we can see the
Aristotle, yeah.
We can see the lamp of the Aristotle, yeah.
Heck, Aristotle himself might be completely made up, for that matter. Who the hell knows?
Yep, because I don't think there's any of his writings that are left. The only thing was, I think it was Plato's mentioned him or something. That's one of the, I think it's Aristotle. There was none of his writings. It was just that he was written about what he said, kind of thing. If I'm right on that, or it was Plato. It was one of the two.
In order to live on a globe and accept a globe, you can only use your eyesight, and you have to trust the experts to say, look out, look out. What's that lady's name, Travis? Is look out over the water. See?
Michelle Fowler.
Yeah, look out over the water. You'll see the boats, falling over the curve. She doesn't mention anything about refraction, anything about all the variables that could be in play. That no, it's just going over the curve. That's what's happening.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, she doesn't. She, I think, actually mentions is a sailboat. Okay, so if she's going to give us that kind of scaling, then that's going to limit the distance we're talking about. And I've already demonstrated on my channel what happens to sailboats when they get miles away.
Jose's demonstrated it too. Exactly. Even ballers.
All right, let me announce the winner. We have a skunking here. Sorry to say that way. We have a 4-0 win for Lemon. Congratulations, Lemon.
Wow.
I agree. I butchered that one.
Oh, I would have voted for you, SE. I'm driving.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Lemon
I
got
would have
three.
voted for him too. I voted for
I
him
think
too.
Lemon. I
Lemon
think
put 4 people to sleep.
Oh, wait a minute, Lemon. I think you should make a acceptance speech. You know, like thank you. You know, like the Emmys or something like that.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to thank God for this award. Without him, this would not be possible. Thanks.
Lemon.
Good on you, matey. Nice one.
Thank you.
Very good. You guys ready for round 3? Who are our challengers in round 3? Aaron, you seem to like to talk a lot. How about you be in round 3?
You broke up. Who?
You.
Okay, I'll give the shot.
All right. Who wants to go up against Aaron? Why don't we?
I'll go up against him.
We've got Travis versus Aaron. Oh, we got a late vote, a late number 1. So SE, you squeaked in, man. This is past. It's not official, but there is a vote of support, a huge vote of support for you, SE. A huge one. You're gonna love it.
We had a mail.
Lael has voted for SE. Lael comes in at the last minute.
We're gonna have to wait for the recount.
Wow.
We're gonna have to wait for the
Come
recount
back.
on that one. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next question. Gadget, you don't have another question for you, do us? I got a whole list here, by the way. Let me see.
Lots of questions. Let me go about the moon. The moon.
You want the moon? Maybe like eclipses, or I got a good one for the moon. All right.
I have a great one, Brandon. I have a great one.
Hey, none of this picking. Oi. Hey, just as they come off now. That's favoritism.
Come
on.
I'd like to go first.
Come on, this is getting dodgy, Travis.
All right, fair enough. Gadget, you go ahead and ask your question.
I'd like to go first.
Okay. Gadget? You got a question about the moon, Gadget? I can't hear you if you do. All right, well, he can ask his as a clarifying question. Let me get the question. Why is it that everyone on the Earth sees the same side of the moon if the Earth is flat? Aaron, you're up.
I respectfully defer my time to my opponent, reserving my time after he's done.
Okay, that's a first. I don't know if we want to set a precedent, but we'll go with it.
You feel good, Aaron. Thanks, bro.
This is awesome.
Travis, you've been handed the ball.
I can answer that because the art is.
All right, this is very simple. It's a very simple.
Oh, hold on, Gadget. You can put your 2 cents in after Travis gives his official answer and Aaron goes. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, this is very simple. I'm not really sure why Aaron couldn't handle it, but the answer is the reason why we.
I think you're
Can't
cutting out. Dang. Oh boy.
And the other aspect of it is
you cut out.
He's
Travis.
doing that on purpose.
You're roboting Travis.
Is he?
He's doing it on purpose, man.
He's doing it on purpose to get it back to me, right?
Yeah.
God damn, what a smart move.
He learned from Nappy. I'm surprised he doesn't have a piece of cellophane up crinkling in the phone. Well,
okay, I'll go. Okay. First of all, we don't all see the same side of the moon at the same time. And number 2, nobody that looks at the moon knows what it is.
Okay, that's it. Okay, I was expecting you to keep talking, but got it. That's your answer. Thank you very much, Aaron. Don't mean to color things there. Travis, I'll give you a try again.
Hey, I resent that, Ali B. I resent the fact that you would actually think that I would sabotage my own answer. I actually did do that, though, so... okay, so the question is, why do we only see... Okay,
why do we all see the same side of the moon?
Why is it everybody on the Earth sees the same side of the moon if it's a flat Earth?
Yeah. So the question is difficult not to answer simply because that's all we see, right? We don't see anything else to have something to compare it to. So if you're in one place and you see it, and I'm in another place and I see it, that's what we're seeing. So you're asking the question, why are we seeing that? Because that's the way it's being presented to us. I mean, that's as simple as it gets.
Okay, thank you, Travis. We'll open the floor up for additional comment, and if you want to vote for Aaron, type 1. If you want to vote for Travis, type 2. There it is. Before we do that, let me just read this super chat. Nameless Faceless Potato says, $2 super chat. Damn, meant to send that through Streamlabs. Thank you, Nameless Faceless Potato. Thank you for supporting the show in any way you did. Appreciate it. Okay, guys.
Aaron walks over and gives a virtual handshake to Travis. Good answer.
We don't always see the same face of the moon because the moon is rotating at 12 kilometers an hour, isn't it?
It is kind of spinning, right? I forget. I don't pay too much attention to the moon, but I think we wobbling.
There's Travis.
What?
Partner? No. You no. This is open comment.
This is a post. Yeah. It's an open comment. What do you mean?
Oh,
it's open.
Okay. For me and you, or for the panel? I thought.
No, it's just for the panel. I didn't know that we were excluded.
No, there's no exclusion. I never made that rule up. Aaron's making shit up as he goes.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Oh, hey, Glenn. Yeah, what's up, man?
Adjust your brightness.
As is his custom.
That's it. I'm adjusting the brightness of the moonness. Can I take Aaron's go? Can I take Aaron's go? And White Knight
Vote
Aaron.
for me, Gleam. Vote for me. Just give me a vote, and then you can take over.
Go for it, Gleam. Give your answer for this one, but you should be in the next round, I think, since you've popped in. But go ahead.
I will. But if you let's say that me and you are stood 1 meter apart from each other, and we're looking at a wall over a field, let's say 100 meters away, we are both going to see the same side of the wall. That is a similar analogy.
Yeah, but Gleam, my answer said we all don't, all in the whole world, we all don't see the same side of the moon at the same time, and none of us knows what the moon is. So that was my answer.
Gleam's just flung you under the bus there, Aaron. Gleam's just flung you under the bus.
I actually think Gleam was white knighting for me. He sounded more like in line with what I said.
Yeah, I think he did actually.
Well, I'll white knight for someone, whoever. I don't care. Just let me white knight.
I was listening to your song again today, Gleam.
Bless
Can I
you.
ask a question?
Yes.
The moon is rotating at 12 kilometers an hour.
Aberration.
How would you land a leg?
I'm gonna shout out to the best panel in the world, Brandon. I mean, you have
Conservation of momentum.
right now.
Momentum.
I mean, the folks that are listening right now are really top.
Aaron, you're talking over people. Aaron.
They understand. I'm lobbying to your panel. All right, I want the votes.
Okay, just say the let him go down. So
he's
I'm
white
walking
knighting the moon.
Yeah, I'm walking on the moon. There's no atmosphere. So if I jump up in the air and the moon is moving underneath me at 12 kilometers an hour, I should land fucking Broadway, next to Broadway, 12 kilometers an hour, 6 feet, 18 feet behind me if I jumped up in the air on the moon.
Yeah, that would be in a vacuum, and it's 1/6 Earth, and there is atmosphere there, as they found, didn't they? So there's resistance.
We didn't see that in the images, did we? When they're on the moon, they're jumping up and landing straight down. So there's no atmosphere on the moon, like it's 1/6 of the Earth. But if they jumped up in the air, they should be going sideways.
But that's the thing about the conservation.
Okay, Brandon, I say Gadget v Gleam on the next question because we're getting into a little bit more detail.
Wait. What was the decision on who won between Aaron and me?
Yeah, we got a vote.
Well, okay, I will tell you that it is 3-1 Travis. We're getting less votes as time goes on. You got to vote, people. 3-1 Travis takes the semifinals.
Wait, hold on.
I'm not going to concede.
Hold on, just real. How many people are watching? We got 4 votes. What the hell?
I don't know. There's 89 people watching currently, but yeah, there's only 4 votes.
They're pathetic.
83 trolls.
Yeah,
exactly. 4 flat earthers, 83 trolls.
We had one more come in for Travis, so 4-1. We got 5 now. So
I still won't concede, Travis. So it's
thanks,
contested.
Mom.
I'm gonna contest it.
At least you didn't get skunked like me, Aaron.
All right, somebody suggested Gleam versus Gadget. So
Yeah.
that'll be our final matchup, Glean versus Gadget. Let me find a good one. Here we go. We're gonna go to the moon again, okay? And this was a viewer requested question. It is, what is the moon made out of? What is it? Gleam, you can go first.
In my personal view, rock mineral material.
Okay, short and sweet. Gadget, what is the moon made out of? What is it?
Cheese.
Gadget goes with cheese. All right, folks. We've got Gleam. We've got Gleam. Vote 1. Gadget. Vote 2. What is the
I
moon
think
made
Gleam's
out of?
going to get hammered on this. Gleam's going to get smashed on
The
this
moon's
one.
not made out of cheese. The moon, it's very funny, the moon, because when we look at the moon, we see meteorites and everything, we see holes and everything. It took a shock. I don't know if it's round or flat or whatever.
Gadget, no need to justify. I was taught that the moon was cheese, right? I mean, all of us were taught that. We at least learned that at some point.
I'd
So,
say it's more helium
no need
4
to
than
justify.
cheese.
I think you're going to get all the votes, Gadget.
Cheese.
You're going to annihilate Gleam. Wow, this is going to be a massacre.
I think I'll win that. I think I'll win that game.
That's it. I think this needs to go open university level, to be honest.
I think we need peer review. Nothing less will do here.
Well,
Gleam.
review.
Oh, sorry, Gleam. I actually thought of I thought what a great idea if you had like, you know, like I don't know how you would work it out, but like 4 flat earthers, 4 ballers, and then just have someone just asking questions, but like what Brandon just done there, but maybe on a higher level. You know what I mean? I think that would be fun.
That would be pretty fun. Absolutely.
We'd be answering their questions. We'd know more about their model than they do.
We do have an outcome for this, and you will be surprised. It is 7-3. 7-3 in favor of Gadget. Gadget takes it 7-3. Good showing, Gleam.
Yeah.
I tried.
Nice
I
try,
tried.
Gleam.
Yeah,
try,
I'm
Gleam.
just not at that level.
That's cool. Hey, Gleam, you're retired, dude. You're retired. Get out of here.
I'm retiring. That's what it is. I'm at that age.
Funny
My
how
liver and everything.
Yeah, funny how the voting went up.
Yeah. So I said, no kidding. People were very excited about that question.
I claim it's rigged. There's a rig going on.
It's a rigged vote. It's a
it's the trolls. 84 trolls.
Sock account.
All right. Let's. Now we're gonna go into the finals round. The previous winners, and we're gonna have a champion of the night. At the end of this, we're gonna go Jeremy versus Lemon, and then Travis versus Gadget.
That means I'm in the final, am I?
Yeah, you are. Well, you're almost there. I guess it's the semifinals technically. So we'll go first with Jeremy and Lemon. Here's the question. Jeremy will go first, Lemon second. On flat Earth, why is there a pressure gradient in the atmosphere?
I would say that we're living in a very dynamic system. All the gases are produced and used at ground level, essentially. And, we have winds are moving around. There's a lot of stuff happening. You also have relative density at play. So that's all.
Okay. Lemon, you're up. Lemon, you there?
Question?
Where was it? I know I read it.
Why is there a density gradient?
Yeah, on flat Earth, why is there a density gradient in the atmosphere?
Hold on, can I add one more thing? Hold on, Lemon. One more thing. Also, is this allowed? I'm going anyways. Fuck it. As you get higher, the temperature gets colder because the sunlight hits the ground and the heat is radiated off of that onto the gas that's there, causing the pressure gradient. So as you get up, the air gets cooler and then falls back down to where it gets warmer, and it keeps going over and over again. That's all.
All right, Lemon, you're up.
I go with sound and frequency. I've seen people levitate. Well, I've heard and seen reports of people levitating using sound. You can get levitating effects with electromagnetism, which is a type of frequency. So I think it's like salt on a cymatic plate. You put out a sound frequency and it makes any shape you need. I think basically up, down, that's basically what's happening on a sound frequency level. So I think that sound and frequency, electromagnetically and otherwise, can organize the column and make things sink, float, or rise.
Damn you, Lemon.
All right, we've got our answers. Open up the floor.
I think both y'all lose
in order
because
to
you
vote,
missed the
Jeremy
C
1, Lemon 2, Jeremy 1, Lemon 2. There it is. Please get in your vote now.
What about the word container, right? Neither of you guys use that word.
We'll use that next round.
Okay, Lemon.
For fuck's sake, Lemon, can you use shorter words, please?
What was that?
Use shorter words, please.
Well, that's how they get away from the container, though. They bring up the pressure gradient. Now we're not talking about the container anymore.
Everything Lemon said and
Yeah.
everything Jeremy said, if they would have said within a container, this would
No.
happen. Yeah.
No, I was explaining
you
that.
would have
I was
convinced me. You would have convinced me, but
No, I was explaining that the pressure gradient is what the Globers always bring up. So they get away from it. That's how they get away from the container. That's the red herring they use.
But you're
Get
not
off the
on
container.
Jem's channel right now, right?
Hey, we got another showdown. We got another showdown.
We got
Pipe
another
down there.
showdown. I'm just waiting for the things to come in, and it looks like the votes have all come in. It is 6-2. Jeremy, congratulations! You have won 6-2. You are in the finals. And let's see who your contender is. We have got the other semifinals: Travis versus Gadget. And we've got somewhat of a tough question. Ready? How do lunar eclipses work on a flat Earth? How do lunar eclipses work on a flat Earth? Travis, you can go first.
The only suggestion that I can offer up is by way of correlation. So I have personally seen shadows formed in the water through the eddying currents in a stream, so that the water at the surface is creating a vortex, and somehow that blocks the light from going down. So the light is around that circling vortex, and you can see the shadow, and you can actually watch the shadow move along the floor of the stream or river or even your pool. So then by correlation, because the atmosphere is fluid and dynamic that way, very possible that up in the air there is another dynamic that is producing that same effect. So that's about as best as I can do.
All right. Thank you, Travis. Gadget, you're up.
Yeah, can you ask the question again?
Yes. How do lunar eclipses work on a flat Earth?
Well, for me, the moon and the sun are up in the sky, but they're not 93 million miles away, or either 242,000 miles away. I think they're pretty close, because what I see today, lunar eclipses, I experienced a few, and when the sun comes behind the moon, the shadow, you have to look at the shadow it casts. It's only 70 miles apart, 80 miles apart. That could never happen on a globe Earth. It can happen. Like, it's fucked up. It just doesn't make sense. It could work on a flat Earth. It could work on a round Earth. But I think, for me, lunar eclipses, the sun and the moon are local. They're not 93 miles away, and they're not 243 miles away. That's for me. They do work. They could work on a globe, and they could work on a flat Earth.
All right. Thank you, Gadget. So the voting is going to be Travis 1, Gadget 2. Travis 1, Gadget 2. Get your votes in now, folks, to see who meets Jeremy in the finals.
So, talking about lunar eclipses on a flat Earth, we at least I understand that the light from the sun kind of produces what we would call it kind of this lampshade type light that we see, and we look up on Earth and experience that, right? In our flat Earth, we experience that.
That's what I
The
meant.
light dissipates as it goes away. All this stuff doesn't mean it dissipates away. If there's a higher object like the moon that's also circulating around the flat Earth, right? So, just because we lose the light doesn't mean the moon loses the light, and that's why it turns red and not black, right? On that.
Yeah, but in an eclipse, we should have the radius of the moon on Earth, but it's only 80 miles apart.
I'm on a flat Earth. Gadget.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the moon, whatever the radius of the moon is, if the sun
How come?
comes
Well, then how come that
That's
there
just
is
like
actually
shadow.
no shadow that covers the moon? It just turns red.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
All right, we have a
If
winner,
you-
and we have
if-
our finalists locked in. 7-3. Travis takes it. Good showing, Gadget. Travis takes it 7-3.
So it's Travis v. Jeremy.
Travis and Jeremy, and boy, have I got a question for you guys. Who's gonna go first?
Do I get the bronze medal? Do I?
Go first.
Oh, what's that?
Let me go first.
You want to go first, Jeremy? Okay, Travis,
Yeah.
you're gonna go second. Then you all right with that?
Let's have a
Yeah.
Cool. Here it comes. Here is the question for the finals. Jeremy, what experiment could we do to see if there is curvature of the Earth? What experiment could we do to see if there is curvature of the Earth?
Okay, here's what you want to do. You were looking for drop from horizontal from still water, basically. Like water that's everyone on both sides agrees that water is conforming to the shape of Earth. We say it's flat and level on top. They say it's curving. So what you'd want to do is make a horizontal plane, however you could do it, and just check for the still water to see if it has dropped like a water level. And what Bev always uses, that'd be a good thing to use for this. Or you could just use a body of still water. That's it.
All right. Thank you for your answer, Jeremy. Travis, what experiment could we do to see if there is curvature of the Earth?
Oh, to see if. So you're making it a positive. To see if there is curvature of the Earth. Shinola. It's not going to be any different than what Jeremy said ultimately, although I probably won't say it as well. But
Go up, Travis. Go up.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to
Just
say it any better than that.
Go up.
He said what I was going to say.
Just go
Jeremy
up,
wins.
Travis.
Jeremy wins.
Oh my gosh, folks!
I concede.
We have
I concede.
we have a concession in the finals at the last minute. A champion, the first champion of the. I don't have a name for it. For the greatest, smartest flat earther of all on Earth has been crowned.
Hey, you could call this.
Nobody's smarter than Jeremy.
You could call this friendly fire.
Ooh, friendly fire! I like that. Friendly fire champion. First round, first match, first whatever. Jeremy. Wow.
This was a good exercise. I just want to say this was a very good exercise. Thank you. I'll make my acceptance speech later, but this was a very good exercise. Yes, this was a very good exercise for us to do. We should do this more often. I want to thank the countless hours and gems that I've spent arguing with these Globers.
Thank your voters first, right? Thank your voters.
It's like, yes, thank you to all the voters.
You didn't get any votes.
And your mum and dad.
Thanks to the creator. Hi, Mom.
I got to the finals.
It's like if you watch. Oh, sorry, Gadget.
Yeah, sorry.
Wait. No, Jeremy, what are you doing? Finish your damn acceptance speech. This is your shining moment, man.
I'm getting rumpus during my acceptance speech. It's like I like to use this. I like to use this analogy a lot. If you just watched basketball your whole life and you read about it, and one day I hand you a basketball, you're not going to be good at it. You know, you got to get out there and talk, you know, go against the competition, see what they're saying. You know, you got to mix it up.
Hell yeah.
So now that you are the champion of friendly fire, what will you do?
I mean, I'm probably going to like have some ice cream in a little bit and fall asleep.
I'm going to Disneyland!
Can I take my concession back? I just thought of an answer.
We're pretty far down the road, Travis, but go ahead.
Travis Trump.
He has the right to do that because there is a time period.
You're making this up as we go. There's a 7-day cooling off period.
It's a 7-minute time period.
Nice.
Guys, I have a question.
Don't lose your receipt.
It's probably never been asked.
Jeremy's been Trumpist.
Go ahead,
And if
Travis. Let's hear your
swings the
answer.
vote here, if Travis swings the vote here, I mean this. So Travis, go ahead.
Sorry.
I actually did think of how I would have responded if I would have been quicker on my feet, but I was just teasing.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to try to.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to.
Me too. I should have been in the final as well, but I wasn't that fast to be fair.
I will say though, now that you've passed the FE diploma in FE University, you can now put FE on the end of your name.
Yeah.
Jeremy F.E.
Oh, hold it, Kev.
I can't believe I.
You got your FE colors.
I bet Gleam in the semi-finals. I can't believe that.
I'll have to think of some prize. Jeremy, I'm going to think of a prize. It's going to be yours
Sure, it's
until
gotta
the
be-
next
sure.
time. You'll be the defending
Sure,
champion next time.
Bandana.
I'll think of something.
Brandon, I
Yeah,
should have
pass
a
it,
prize. I beat Graham in the semi-finals. I should have
Yeah,
a prize.
second place. What about Travis? He's second place. I mean, he's still.
No, I was
There's
fine
no
with it.
prize for second place.
Yeah, but
Haven't you guys ever seen Rad Racing?
Travis,
Talladega
Travis,
night.
story of your life, dude. Story of your life. You suck, dude.
How many
Talladega night.
questions were there, Brandon? How many questions were there?
4, 5, 6, 7 questions total.
7. Do you want to put a 1-minute timer on it and see how many I can answer within 1 minute? If I can do all 7 within 1 minute, even though I'm cheating because
Ooh, this ought to be good.
Well, I'd have to remember what all of them are, but if you give me a minute, I will try to do that. Okay.
59, 58.
Why do boats disappear bottom up?
Because of an optical effect, as Lemon explained.
How do lunar eclipses work on a flat Earth?
Because of the polarization of light due to the magnetic field of Earth.
What experiment could we do to see if there is curvature of the Earth?
You would need a completely clear horizon, and that's impossible, so you can't.
All right. Explain gravity on a flat Earth.
Electrostatic is the behavior of gravity, but it is essentially ether.
On flat Earth, why is there a pressure gradient in the atmosphere?
Because all the matter is closest to Earth, and it's similar to a pool.
Is there a center to the Earth?
There is no center to the Earth.
Why do boats go over the horizon?
They don't. The horizon is the limit of your view on a flat Earth.
There you go. I didn't time it, but that was pretty damn close to a minute. Nice job, Gleam. Pretty
thanks.
good answers.
There we go.
Glenn, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Sorry to cut in.
No worries.
Why do on the South Pole? Why do icebergs move north?
Sorry, I missed that. Why do what? Penguins or?
No, penguins. No, not penguins. Well,
Sorry.
they're like the glaciers, the icebergs. Why did they move north, and why in the Antarctica, and why in the North Pole? Why do icebergs move south?
I think the one explanation on a globe would be flow of the actual which way they flow, and the explanation on a flat Earth would be in exactly the same way. The directional flow would be like a vortex, as opposed to a going from a sphere, like rum lines they call them.
So it's something to do with Coriolis. It's something to do with the spirit of the act.
I would say, Gleam and Gadget, what causes that vortex is the sun's movement itself. And
Yeah.
possibly the moon, too. but at least the sun, because that's the energy I feel. So I can't vouch for the moon yet.
Yeah. Or they're swimming in the medium, like pulling a plug out, and the North
Yeah,
Pole
so
is.
it's kind of the swirl, is it? It's kind of.
Yeah. Well, if you can imagine, chucking up a satellite wouldn't be as impossible, let's say, on a flat Earth, because you could just chuck it up in this vortex and let it.
Toroid vortex. Yeah.
Yeah, let it spin around for a bit. It's a bit of metal, isn't it?
Well, did you guys enjoy that? The what was it called again?
It was good. The friendly fire.
Friendly fire. Did you guys enjoy that? You want to do that again? Maybe we can do it.
That was awesome, Brandon.
All right. Why don't we do that on Fridays?
Brandon.
We'll do that on Fridays.
Good.
Yeah,
Friday friendly fire.
Bingo.
FFF.
Oh,
There you are.
There you go. So I'll have to
Friendly
think of new
Fire
questions.
Friday.
If you think of a really good question, send it to me. And we can
And we
ask
jump
it.
in the titles,
The
right?
audience
We
can
jump in
super
the
chat a
titles.
question during the show, as Lael did. Lael did ask one question, even though I reworded it and he got mad. Sorry, Lael, you didn't answer, but when I asked you.
I got a great question. What causes the apparent junction of the sky and ground?
I bet you can answer it.
I've answered it many times.
1.22 times the observer's height in feet.
Now check this formula out. Square root 6 times it by the tangent of 0.0217 divided by 5,280 feet gives you 1.224. So another calculation for the
We have a
angular.
winner. We have a winner.
Anyway, it's just interesting to hear other people answer that question. So anybody else have any other ideas?
But FED, it was all in jest, right? It was kind of in jest where Brandon put on this show. You know, it was kind of fun. But yes, if you want to get really technical about it, boom, there you go. You got
I have a great question. How the fuck do bumblebees fly? Do you ever see those big ass motherfuckers with little wings?
1.8
Yeah,
divided by
I have.
No, crazy lads. Do you ever catch a bumblebee?
Explanation for that.
Big
That's only if there's
little wings, and they vibrate. You do. Do you ever catch a bumblebee? Yeah, of course you did. They have little wings and the big motherfucking asses that wiggle like fucking niggers in the Caribbean. Now, how do they fly?
bumblebees have big wings, actually, big ones.
Gadget has
No,
a point there
no,
because
they don't. The little
aerodynamically
wings
they
compared to the body.
the way a bumblebee is shaped, aerodynamically they shouldn't fly. I see
Exactly.
special on this, and they say
No,
that
they
somehow
don't.
the
They're
wings
big ass. They do.
create like a
For the
low
pollen.
pressure system. They have some crazy explanation for it. But
They
technically,
vibrate. They vibrate. They vibrate. That's why they bumble. They bumble.
Yeah.
They vibrate. And the little wings. Do you ever catch a bumblebee? Tiny wings. You wouldn't put that in an airplane. You wouldn't. It's like putting a pair of legs on a jumbo jet.
All right, we're gonna wrap the show
That's a
up.
good
It's
image.
8 o'clock. I'm gonna go through
You know
final
what? You know
thoughts,
what?
and then I'll
You know
be
what? I'm gonna
back.
catch a
So why don't we
bumblebee.
start at the top?
I'm
Allie
gonna
B,
catch
any
a
final
bumblebee.
thoughts?
I'm gonna-
Yeah, I have. Oh, once. Yep, I have. That was a great show, Brandon. That was a good little competition there. I think it was a bit one-sided, right enough. I'm sure there was a few trolls out. That's why I lost anyway, because my answer was way better. But anyway, I'm not being sour or anything like that. But congratulations to Jeremy on his fantastic win. And yeah, keep up the good work, Brandon. And shout out everybody on the panel, apart from the rumpus.
Thanks, Allie B. I will initiate an investigation directly after the show into ballot tampering.
I will appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
Yep. Brian Mabbitt, final thoughts. Nope, don't think he's there. Travis?
Yeah, a little slow on the draw, but I think if I were to go back and give an answer for a positive as to how to demonstrate the... Oh, no, I guess that wouldn't work either. Never mind. Okay, so this is my initial thought was to answer it in the negative, which would be actually to disprove the curvature, and by now you should all know the answer. But the only alternative explanation for the observation that ships disappear over the curvature or lighthouses are hidden behind the curvature is the conditions of the medium, which is affectionately known as the ether band. Everybody drink.
Yeah, I'm drinking.
Thanks, Travis. Brian, I think I saw you light up. If you want to do your final thoughts, Brian Mabbott.
Sorry, mate, I ain't been paying a lot of attention. It sounded like a great show.
Oh, no problem. Thanks, Brian. Flat Earth Data.
Yeah, it was entertaining, man. Thanks for putting it on. Thanks. Yeah, it was a good show.
Cool. Glad you liked it. Gadget.
Yeah, what made my night tonight was my daughter, she had a sleepover. A few of our friends here, there was about 5 of them. They listened to the show tonight. I had it on loudspeaker. He asked a few questions. They were a bit shy, but I got some echo. They're going to look into flat Earth. They're only young. They're only, 18, 19. There's one going to be the doctor. Another's going to be a lawyer, whatever. And, start off, they say we're going to look into it. They all think I'm crazy, flat Earth daddy, whatever they call me, whatever. But, I think we all flat smack tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Gadget. Gently.
Yeah, it's still a globe. That's about all it is for me.
All right. Thanks, Gently. Gleam.
Nice one. Thank you very much for letting me join in at such a late bit. I do think that there's some systematic vote fixing going on. It was not only Ali that suffered in the hands of these underhanded tactics that I think, to be honest, where I think it comes from is somebody is dealing wands in the chat. And I think they need a super ban, a super looming ban to be precise. And thanks again to everyone listening. Oneness.
Clem, I know a good lawyer. Same lawyer as Trump, if you want. Get into the finals.
Okay, thanks, Gadget.
I love the way the Irish say lawyer. It's liar. This is the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Liar.
I thought he was saying liar. That's funny.
It's the same.
Jeremy.
Liar, yeah.
I got in late, but I'm glad I got in when I did. That was a great exercise. We're going to do that every Friday. That's awesome. Friendly Fire Fridays. Some of those questions were tough. The Eclipse one, that's tough to try to explain to someone. I have answers for that. I'm not going to give them away right now. We'll wait for Friday. But good show.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Congratulations on your momentous and achievement. I appreciate it. George. Kitty not so soft paws. Patient Zero, Aaron.
Congratulations, Jeremy, on your epic win against the Plain Truth. I mean, this is an upset, in the whole flat Earth community. I'm sure it's gonna be taken that way and cut and pasted that way. But cheers, Brandon. That was great.
Cool. Thanks, Aaron. SE.
Yes, sir. Very good show. I liked what we did here. But I'd like to concur with Gleam and Ali. I think the fix was in. I think I should have won. I saw Jeremy and Lemon passing out singles and $5 bills. So, yeah, that's it. I protest.
All right. I've logged quite a few protests from, interestingly enough, 3 people who were in the competition who did not make it to the finals. Make of that what you will, but I will investigate to the best of my ability.
That's a spurious allegation, man. That's got absolutely nothing to do with us 3 losing.
And I will say, no,
I take that personal, man.
In all seriousness, though, I will say, even though Travis didn't give an answer for the last one, it was kind of a good not giving an answer. So there's got to be something suspect going on.
Oh, you think
I'm gonna riot?
He threw the match. Are you accusing Travis of throwing the match?
No, he didn't throw it. That's what I was saying. There's got to be some fixing going on because even though he couldn't answer it, it was still a good not answer.
Oh, I think you're onto something there, Brandon, about match fixing.
No, fuck
mean,
off, lads. Brendan.
It's the first time.
Brandon,
The first
Brandon.
time.
Fucking dead people voted. Dead people voted.
Dead people voted. What were you saying, Ellie?
Dead
I was
people
going.
voted.
It was the very first. It was the very first competition, man, and there's been cheating, allegations of vote.
I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna riot.
handing out
This is
symbols,
really
man. It's
not. Yeah.
We need a union.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys figure out how to
This is
unionize.
unsettled.
I'll be
It's
back.
unsettled.
I will record the overtime. Give me a couple minutes. Thanks to the panel. Those are my final thoughts.
Yeah, cheers, Brandon.
Appreciate it. That was a lot of fun.
Final thoughts. Brandon, final thoughts. Tomorrow's going to be it's going to be a big day in America tomorrow. The whole United States military is after going. All the ships are after flying out. No ship in America is in port. Trump, CIA had 41 days after the election. It's the 18th of December. I think Trump is going to call martial law. So God bless America. It's going to be a civil war
Shit.
tomorrow.
I'll have to look at that. I've heard some rumblings, but I didn't make much of them. I'll have to look into that. Thanks, Gadget. All right. I'll be back, guys.
I heard a little bit too.
All right. I don't know what's going on with Eric then. I'll have to look into that. A friend of mine was telling me today that they thought there was going to be some big moves made, but I just can't envision that it'll ever happen. I would be so freaking shocked if something like that happened. But in my opinion, it's better sooner than later. Anyway, thanks to everybody in the audience. Lael, I didn't thank you specifically for the final super chat, so thank you. I do apologize for not asking the question exactly as you typed it the first time. I thought I was doing you a favor, and you didn't answer, so I apologize for that. Friendly Fire Friday will be back next week. Seems like it was enjoyable. And we'll see you guys on Monday. I'm going to try to get that Pebble in the Pond video out this weekend so we can have that to show people his different observations. So be looking for that. I'll probably post that on the Ranty channel. And who the hell knows what else is going to happen. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later.